watching Fox Sports. Home to the All-Star Game, the American League Championship Series, and the World Series. America's grand game is on Fox. We are Fox Sports!
The Dodgers trying to close it out and win the World Series tonight behind the NLCS MVP, Corey Seager. He's been just as hot this World Series. Will they get it done against the Rays? About to find out.
We've never seen a World Series quite like this. All the emotion.
Ball gets away! Tampa Bay wins it!
All the passion.
Got him, and the Dodgers win Game 5.
Every moment inching closer to the game's ultimate prize. And tonight, the final picture comes into focus. A team on the brink of a title, one step away from cementing their franchise legacy.
Here's a high fly ball into the field. She is gone!
The other, fighting for every playoff breath to keep their dream season alive.
Relentless. That's what the Rays do. That's how they play.
There's no telling how this journey will end, but we can certainly enjoy the ride. Game 6 of the World Series is next on Fox.
Kevin and guys, off we go. It's Game 6 of this World Series from Arlington, Texas, with the Dodgers up 3 games to 2. Well, it has been a fun and compelling World Series so far, hasn't it? Welcome to the booth. I'm Joe Buck. The Hall of Famer John Smoltz is coming right up. And here are the Dodgers, just 1 win away from a championship. Here are the Rays, 2 wins away from a championship. For the Dodgers, how are they up 3 games to 2? Well, one of the reasons why is they are able to spread their power and their production around. 11 home runs by 9 different players this series. That has never been done. And that's just one of many reasons why they're just a win away from winning it all in 2020. Welcome in my partner, John Smoltz. Now, I've got little kids at home, so Wyatt and Blake, listen up. We're going Sesame Street style here for this. We're fixating on the number 2. The number 2 hitter for the Dodgers, lights out, red hot, Corey Seager. And John, what the Dodgers had done this postseason with 2 out and 2 strikes is just unheard of.
It really is. It's the theme of the Dodgers and how difficult they are offensively to pitch to. But these numbers are really something you've never seen before. You talk about 2-out runs and their 2-out RBIs. It's unmatched, and that's going to be very difficult for Blake Snell if there's traffic on the bases. The Dodgers have done everything you need to do offensively. One crazy game away from already having this thing closed up, and look for Dave Roberts. Hopefully he doesn't have to make a bunch of moves because Gonsolin will give him some innings.
All right, let's talk about that left-hander you just saw, Blake Snell. Of the starters that the Rays have had in this series, he has been their best, and I feel like we say this every night, but they're going to need length, they're going to need innings out of their young left-hander.
Absolutely, and what he does is neutralize the left-handed power of the Dodgers. If you're Kevin Cash, you got to believe that your trends are going to change. What do I mean by that? The offensive numbers have been terrible, exception of one guy. You need somebody to be a hero. Who's that going to be tonight to force a Game 7? If you force a Game 7, you force all the pressure on the Los Angeles Dodgers coming into this series.
All right, off we go. Will the Commissioner's Trophy be handed out tonight? Or will there be a Game 7? And it handed out tomorrow night. We're all about to find out together. Game 6, next on Fox.
We'll be right back after this short break.
Iran has hit cities across Israel with a massive attack. There are rockets and drones that are hitting our schools, our homes, our synagogues. I'm Yael Eckstein of the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews, and we urgently need your response now to help bring emergency food, shelter, and life-saving supplies.
The International Fellowship of Christians and Jews has emergency teams across the front lines of Israel's war for survival. Call now to give your gift of $45 and help provide food, shelter, and life-saving supplies. It's your prayers and gifts that give hope and comfort to Israel and the Jewish people.
The Fellowship is a Bible-believing ministry, and we desperately need tens of thousands of faithful believers to answer this call for help now.
Call, scan, or go online now to stand with Israel.
Welcome back to iShine Connect.
In a year that has been so improbable.
Just having a season seemed like the impossible. Yet tonight, the Dodgers are on the cusp of their first championship since 1988. In a particularly hard year for Angelinos.
Some very upsetting news. Kobe Bryant killed in a helicopter crash.
America's pastime has once again given us a sense of normalcy. Reminded us of our ability to rise up and fight. That no challenge is too big. Tonight, just the mountains and the palm trees will be watching as the Dodgers try to win it all in their adopted home away from home. But in their way lies a stubborn foe. A team that has had their own improbable run to the Fall Classic.
Now shot into left center. Gone! Another word to the Rays, relentless.
A resilient bunch of characters that refuse to quit.
Tampa Bay wins it! Brett Phillips, Game 4 hero!
With their ace on the mound, they hope to force a Game 7. Will a champion be crowned tonight? It's Game 6 of the World Series.
As we continue to set up Game 6, we send it down to the field and check in with Tom Verducci.
Thanks, Joe. If the Dodgers have a ninth-inning lead, who does Dave Roberts trust to get the last out? Kenley Jansen, Blake Trinan, both options. The wild card is Julio Urias. Yesterday, Dave Roberts said he is not available on 2 days rest. Today, he said Urias is a late-game option. The 24-year-old closed out the NLCS. He has 4 career saves. Now here's Ken Rosenthal.
Thanks, Tom. One thing Kevin Cash wants to see tonight from Blake Snell, more strikes early in counts. The Rays look at how often their pitchers get to 2 strikes within the first 3 pitches of an at-bat. Their starters were quite good at it during the regular season, but against the Dodgers, they've been much less aggressive. Snell was a case in point in Game 2, and he wound up throwing 88 pitches in 4 2/3 innings. If he struggles tonight, Cash will not hesitate to go to his high-leverage relievers. Joe?
All right, guys, thank you. Off we go, and it's a different look for the Rays with their lineup tonight as Ji-Man Choi is digging his way in. He's the leadoff hitter for Kevin Cash. He's followed by Randy Arozarena. Then Austin Meadows, who is Kevin Cash's pick to click tonight. Brandon Lau, Manuel Margot, Joey Wendell. The back end, Willie Adames, Kevin Kiermaier, and Mike Zunino. Against the right-hander, Tony Gonsolin. 0-2 this postseason, ERA over 9. This his 3rd start. Check swing foul. And it was a half swing, but Ji-Man Choi kind of went after it, something he hasn't done a lot of this postseason. There are the numbers this October for the young right-hander.
He broke his little streak of not swinging at the first pitch, if you count that.
Here's the 0-1 from Gonsolin. Pulled the string and the count 0-2.
Well, for Gonsolin, he's been bounced around. So in fairness, not the prototypical stats you're used to as a starter. His slider percentage of strikes have been low in the postseason. That was a strength for him in the regular season. And his walk to strikeout ratio not according to his regular season numbers. So look for that to be a little bit better as he kind of settles in a traditional starting role tonight.
And he starts the night with a strikeout. On 3 pitches, Ji-Man Choi is taken care of, and that brings in Mr. Everything for the Rays. And the subject of our Indeed player resume. This postseason, all of these numbers are postseason records. Again, more opportunity, more rounds. Divisional play didn't start until 1969, but you're still comparing him to some of the game's best here recently, and he's done more with the bat in his hands than just about anybody else as he takes a strike that caught the outside corner.
Yeah, he shouldn't see too many fastballs tonight. The changeup, right on right changeup, is a really good pitch for Gonsolin against Rosarena.
Here's one into right. That ball will carry back at the wall. It is gone. Rosarena has put Tampa Bay on top as he flicks one into the seats and right onto the tarp. And it's 1-0 Tampa Bay as he has his 10th postseason home run. And the Rays are on top in Game 6.
That's incredible. He just saw a nasty slider away that he thought was a ball. It didn't phase him. Electric quick hands. This guy, I just can't even tell you. The words can't describe what he's done in the postseason. He's hit a ton of solo home runs. He's been everything for the Rays, and they needed to get on the board first.
That's the 4th home run Gonsolin has given up this postseason. Here's Austin Meadows, strike 1. And as we've talked about with regard to Rosarena, he seems to have the ability, John, to take any pitch out of any part of the ballpark.
Yeah, it's amazing, Joe. I've watched.
There's one into right. It's going to get down. Betts is over to cut it off, and Meadows is on with a 1-out single.
Obviously been part of a lot of postseason. Watched now a lot of postseason. I've never seen a guy miss a pitch or not miss a pitch, not miss a mistake. I mean, the first pitch that he sees is a slider that dots the outside part, borderline strike, right? You see him kind of shake his head, no big thing. And then the next one is right there, not as good, but I mean, are you kidding me? To go the other way speaks to how quick his hands are.
I mean, and not just hitting a home run, but he hits that tarp out in right field. 1 on, 1 out, and a swinging strike on Brandon Lau. So Randy Rosarena just hit the buds, which means someone is winning tickets to opening day. You can too by tweeting Budweiser USA using hashtag #HitTheBuds and hashtag sweepstakes at Budweiser USA. He is literally doing everything, and has been the focal piece of this offense, where you've got the player who is considered the best hitter for the Tampa Bay Rays, the guy at the plate now who led them in hits during the regular season, Brandon Lau, hitting 143 in the World Series and 123 in the postseason overall.
Yeah, that's just amazing when you look at his regular season numbers. Kind of an out-of-body experience for Brandon this postseason. And you know, we talked to Kevin Cash and we asked him questions, and one of the questions is, who's the one guy you could see that needs to or could snap out? And he actually said Meadows. He liked the way he was swinging the bat, and Meadows right away checks in for a base hit. So his manager was on point with that one.
2 balls and a strike now on Lau. Gonsolin checks on the runner, and Meadows back in hand first. 10 home runs for Rosarena. Part of a deal that happened in January between the Cardinals, that had horrible production out of their outfield this year, and a deal with Tampa Bay. Came over with Jose Martinez, and Jose Martinez didn't even end the year with the Rays, and this guy didn't come up until the end of August. Hit 7 home runs in the regular season. He's eclipsed that with 10 here in the postseason, and none bigger than that to give the Rays, down in the series, a Game 6 lead.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, you know, the other thing that's just amazing about him, he's not like he's expanding the strike zone and giving you many outs for a pitcher. He is making the pitchers think of him, well, like we mentioned before, like Barry Bonds dominating a series, and he is dominating this series. When you look at the offensive numbers for the Rays, if you were to blank that team name and you said, Would this team have success in the postseason? I don't think anybody could have said yes. But then you bring up this guy's contribution and their pitching. That's why they're here.
He just made his first mistake of the postseason. He spit on his own shirt. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runner goes, and a foul straight back by Lau. Lau has just 3 hits in this World Series, 3 for 21, but all 3 have left the park. And all 3 have been to the left of center. Yet they play him to pull on the infield, straight away in the outfield for the most part. Meadows goes again on ball 4. It's in the dirt, and back to get it is Barnes. It's 2 on, 1 out. And more opportunity here for the Rays in the first inning.
This is the slider. Okay, it wasn't the sharpest slider, but it was outer third. He flicks at it. If he tries to pull that, he's out. But to speak about his hands and to speak about what he keeps doing, it's just not probable. And give that man a lot of credit. His story this year, based on what the Rays do, will be one of the most incredible ones because of how he started his year. Missing a lot of time because of COVID, putting in the work.
Just by push-ups.
Yeah.
Was doing, you know, he reported 300 a day, whatever it is. Just like his first base coach does, 10 for every run scoring. Ozzie Timmons, push-ups. Old school workout for Tampa Bay, and man, if those paid off for Arozarena. 2 on, 1 out. The batter is Margot, and outside of Arozarena, Margot has easily swung the bat the best. He's hitting 400 in this World Series, and that's gotten his overall postseason average up to 296.
Yeah, he has. You see the no home runs, no RBIs, but he's had a lot better swings, and the collective theme so far, if you're Tony Gonsolin, these hitters are coming to the box ready to hit. They're swinging at the first pitch. They want to get something going. And they've done that in the first.
Good pitch there, strike 2. We've seen so many approaches by whatever lineup is in there, really, for each side, whether it's NLCS or World Series, trying to make the starter work, take pitches, get the pitch count up. They don't care about the pitch count with Gonsolin. He's not going to be around long.
That's right.
0-2 the count. 1 out. 0-2. Just up. Ball 1.
Well, what you can't let a team do if you're Tony Gonsolin is take away one of your better pitches. Now, I mentioned his slider has not been as great in the postseason as the regular season. The chase percentage in the regular season, 51.8. In the postseason, it's only been 19.4. And again, different roles, not consistency in the rotation, bouncing around, probably contributes a little bit to that.
1-2 pitch is fouled back. Whether it's within a ball game or now within a series, Kevin Cash's Rays trying to prove that they do not go away easily. And they started perfectly so far and look for more as they jump on top after losing Game 5 2 nights ago. One-two is in the dirt.
Well, the Dodgers, of course, and Dave Roberts, a lot of decisions to make in this game. They can win the World Series without winning 2 games in a row. Yeah, the Rays obviously cannot. They have to win these next 2 games. And what Dave's hoping, or was hoping, that he could get some innings out of Tony Gonsolin to not be forced, even though you've got a Game 7 in your back pocket with Walker Buehler, to use that whole pen today.
Here's a 2-2. Fly ball into right center. Will slice now to Betts, who comes in, eyes the runners, and has out number 2. Well, Tony Gonsolin has only thrown 7 2/3 innings this postseason, but he's given up 4 long balls. Freeman, Dansby Swanson, Brandon Lau in this World Series, and now a Rosarena.
And that one was a ball. I mean, that one you're going to look at and you're going to go, really? And in fairness, again, this is not making an excuse for a pitcher. He came into this postseason without pitching in a game in 17 days. And so part of that is you get a little bit out of rhythm. You pitch you start a game, then you're in the pen a couple times. So he's searching for that rhythm you have every 5 days as a starter, and it's what you know. And it's become a little difficult for him here, obviously, with the scenario in the postseason.
If Dave Roberts was itching to get Gonsolin out of the ball game with the left-hander Alex Wood ready in the bullpen, this would have been a spot. But after getting that out, a left-handed hitting third baseman Joey Wendell gets to deal with Gonsolin, and Wood stays in the bullpen for now. One ball, one strike. John, you said it 2 nights ago that after that crushing defeat for the Dodgers, an uplifting win for Tampa Bay in Game 4, the best thing for the Dodgers was they were the away team and they jumped on top in a blink. And now, facing elimination, the Rays have scored in the first and have a chance for more.
Well, they know their formula has worked all year, and that has been, look, it's simple. They've hit a ton of home runs. They've struck out a ton. They've walked. But what they do is defend and run prevention about as good as anybody when they're given the position late in the game. And that's what Kevin Cash is hoping for. And he was hoping for a little bit of cushion so that he could give his starter the opportunity to pitch as many innings as possible.
Wendell trying to add to this first inning. Gonsolin wants it to end now, and he steps off. Rosarena sits over there like he's been doing this for 12 years. He was a part of the Cardinal postseason roster last year, but not a factor. The guy's a rookie.
I mean, it's amazing. I'm blown away by him. He has been easily the best player in the postseason for all teams combined, of course. Corey Seager's not too far behind.
16 teams got into this tournament. 2 are left. The top seed from the AL against the top seed from the NL.
Oh, wow. That is jamming somebody and full turn, hitting it off your leg. That he fouls off his knee. I guess if you're not going to wear gloves, I expect this kind of stoic, didn't bother me. And usually the next pitch goes right back in there.
He walked it off. I don't know how. And is ready for another 1-2 from Gonsolin.
Yeah, slider down and in would be dirty if they just choose to go with it.
And a changeup gets him down and in, but Randy Arozarena gets another. Unreal. 10 this postseason, 3 in this World Series, and the Rays on top in Game 6.
We'll be right back after this short break.
Everybody hates Beth. She eats all the food she loves and stays slim. Kim starves herself dieting, yet still can't lose weight. Beth is full of energy. Kim always feels tired. Beth has an unfair advantage. She takes Almacet, a breakthrough health and weight loss shake that fixes your metabolism to help you lose weight in a whole new way.
I couldn't lose weight no matter how much I exercise. I tried Almacet. I lost 26 pounds.
The reason you're having trouble losing weight could be a liver clogged with fat that's slowing your metabolism, making it very difficult to lose weight and stubborn belly fat. Almacet is a scientifically proven food supplement that uses natural amino acids and bioactive peptides to help unclog your liver and fix your metabolism so it's easier to lose weight.
My name is Stephanie Phillips Solar, and I'm an Almacet success story. I was able to lose 67 pounds with Almacet in roughly 7 to 8 months.
My weight is down. I feel much more energetic than I have in the past.
Over the course of time, I lost a total of 25 pounds. So thank you, Almacet.
Almacet is all natural, supports healthy blood sugar levels, and it's diabetic friendly. Some weight loss plans have you feel weak and hungry, but Almacet will renew your energy, and you can lose weight and feel great.
Almacet's unique protein can truly absorb in your body and aid with weight loss.
Studies showed Almacet helps you lose double the weight compared to other diets.
The fact is, Almacet works, and I highly recommend it.
Go online now to get started with Almacet for just $34.99. A great value to finally lose weight. We guarantee you can lose weight or you'll get your money back. Be like Beth and get the unfair weight loss advantage with Almacet.
Welcome back to iShine Connect.
This kid is all world and part of the great tradition of Cuban baseball that dates back to the late 1800s. And he is the latest star to come from Cuba. And man, are the Tampa Bay Rays glad to have him. Here's the Dodgers lineup. Mookie Betts leads it off. Corey Seager, then Justin Turner. In the middle, Max Muncy, Will Smith, Cody Bellinger. In the back end, Chris Taylor, A.J. Pollock, and Austin Barnes. Against a left-hander, 27 years old, 6'4", 220. Against a left-hander, 27 years old, 6'4", 225, Blake Snell.
Yeah, he's been awesome and really has a chance to quiet the power of this Dodger lineup.
Nope. That's down to Betts for ball one.
And Mookie really has struggled for whatever reason this year against left-handers, and in the postseason he has struggled. Not in his career, but for some reason this year just not locked in against lefties.
1 ball, 1 strike as that catches the mask of Zunino. Betts has been good with the bat. He's been phenomenal in the other phases of his game. His defense in right, his base running, stealing bases. He's had some hits. He's got just the 1 home run, and he's hitting .227 in this World Series.
Yeah, the only uncharacteristic things I've seen out of Mookie is the fact that he's swinging and missing a little more than we used to see him. Strikeouts are up. And you mentioned his average, but boy, does he cause pressure in every other aspect of his game.
2-1. 2-2. The Dodgers have been calling this ballpark, which I keep saying is beautiful because it is, home for exactly 3 weeks. The first game against the Padres was on October 6th, and here we are 21 days later. Beat San Diego 3 straight, beat the Braves in 7, lead the Rays 3 games to 2, and a strikeout starts the night for Snell. So we reconvene here tomorrow night. Here's Seager. A strike hits the inside corner.
Seager's got that little wiggle with his hands, a timing mechanism, but everything else is pretty quiet. And right now the ball looks huge. He chokes up just a hair on the bat, but has such control over the strike zone right now. And what I meant about Snell being able to neutralize the left-handed powers is because he has the weaponry to do it. There's the curveball, the sliders. When it's on, it's as hard as anybody can't hit it. And so for the Rays, they're going to want the left-handed power of the Dodgers to go quiet tonight.
about that start for Snell after his teammates got him one back-to-back strikeouts, and the batter will be Turner. You were talking about the 2-out production in the open. Turner will bat with 2 down. The stats didn't fire, but we will give them to you. As Betts strikes out, it's followed by the strikeout of Seager. But what the Dodgers have done with 2 outs this postseason is absolutely, it's unheard of.
No, it is unheard of. You're talking about doing it against an array of so many different pitchers and power pitchers. It is difficult to get a clean inning against the Dodgers, and that's what Snell's trying to do the first inning. I mean, honestly, I try to make the comparisons so someone can understand. You go into Coors Field, and you can't get 3 clean outs. It's hard. That field's huge, the ball carries, and that's kind of what the Dodgers bring to every game, a Coors Field type feeling where, all right, looks like it's going to be a 1-2-3 inning, and then they snatch it.
So here we are, 2 strikes and 2 out. And with 2 out this postseason, 59 total runs, by far the most ever in a single postseason, more games. The average with runners in scoring position, phenomenal. And how about that last one? 2 strikes in this series with 2 out, hitting .366, 4 home runs. That's inside for ball 1.
Yeah, that last one is the one that gets you. That's the one you sit there and game plan all day for. Get him to 2 strikes, spin the breaking ball, and you got him. Well, they have battled, fouled off the pitcher's pitches, and get the ones they want. Right now, you can see Blake Snell has great feel for every pitch. He's thrown every pitch in this inning that he has.
He struck out the side. You can't do it any better. Good start, Snell, and Rays up 1 after 1 in Game 6.
We'll be right back after this short break.
You already know collagen is great for your skin and hair. But did you know it can help your joints too? We're talking about increasing flexibility and reducing stiffness and discomfort fast. For results you can't keep to yourself, try multi-collagen protein.
Welcome back to iShine Connect.
Tonight's aerial coverage brought to you by Camping World, making RVing fun and easy since 1966. And before the second inning, a reminder, don't forget, download the Fox Sports Samsung 5G View app for an all-new immersive fan experience. Available exclusively on 5G-enabled Android devices. 1-0 on the home run by Arozarena. Bottom 3 for the Rays in their lineup here in the second against Tony Gonsolin.
Yeah, this is the guy for the Rays. If there's ever a shot to get going with the bat, and the lower part of the lineup hasn't had much production, their fearful leader and joyful leader has to get going at the plate.
Well, that's Willie Adames first up. Up on the count here, 2-0. He's hitting just 176. There are 3 exceptions with the average in the lineup for the Rays. Otherwise, it's a lot of averages well under 200 so far in this series, and that's off the end of the bat. Choi 143, Meadows 154, Lau 143, Wendell 133, Adames 176, Zunino 0.
And that's what I'm saying. If you saw those numbers and no one told you what the series results were, you'd say that team had to have gotten swept. But not only are they not swept, they found a way to win an incredible game. And then Snell's game was pitched great. They actually won that game pretty easily, and that they're hoping that formula gets repeated tonight.
Two from Gonsolin, and struck him out looking. Three strikeouts now for the Dodger right-hander. Tonight's telecast sponsored by Ford, built Ford proud. By Indeed, upload your resume today. And by Steal a Base, Steal a Taco, only at Taco Bell. The National Medal of Honor Museum Foundation is on a mission to build a world-class museum amid the complex of the 3 sports stadiums here in Arlington, which will honor the fewer than 4,000 brave individuals who have earned our nation's highest award for valor in combat. The ties between baseball and the U.S. military span more than 150 years, and it will be on the other side of the old ballpark, which is right next door. Count's gone to 2-0 on Kevin Kiermaier, as it was on Adames to start the inning.
Yeah, see, these are the counts you have to make work for you. You can't get too big when you're ahead in the count. When the Rays are ahead in the count, they got a fighting chance. When they get behind, with the exception of a Rosarena and maybe Margot, the numbers really are against them.
Kiermaier tried to unload. He's been one of the bright spots, hitting .375. 6 hits, 2 of them home runs in this World Series. That is hard hit into right. It is over the head of Betts. One hops the wall. Betts gets it back in, but that is a 1-out double by Kiermaier.
And that's big. That's what the Rays have to do when they control the count. And now they've gotten some production out of the bottom part of their lineup, whereas the top of the lineup is going to come up and have a chance with the runners in scoring position if there's 2 outs. Of course, Zunino can change that if he can get a hit with runners in scoring position.
Third hit for the Rays, second extra base hit, and here is Zunino 0 for 13. But we've said it every time he stepped to the plate, it feels like. Certainly in the LCS and earlier this postseason, not a lot of hits, but he made them count. Including a home run in Game 7 against the Astros in the League Championship Series, ball 1.
Yeah, he's definitely trying to get the ball in the air, and you can tell that by his swing. That's why he's had a lot more swings and misses than normal. But if you keep a ball middle in, if you make a mistake in the middle of the plate, he definitely has the power.
There it goes down the line, but foul. Just tattooed.
And that was the mistake. That was not supposed to be there. And unfortunately for Zunino, he wasn't able to keep that fair. Watch where this pitch is. See how it goes middle in? That is his nitro zone, and you just got to keep the ball out of there. Because now with 2, when you get a strike or 2 on him, you can expand the zone. He's not going to walk very often. He wants to swing.
Good speed on with Kiermaier. 1 out and a 1-1. 2-1. You've got Barnes behind the plate tonight, and if there is a Game 7 with Buehler, Barnes will be back there again tomorrow night. Barnes has kind of taken over the Buehler starts and has always been the catcher for Kershaw. Two-one pitch. 2-2 as he fooled him.
Now, see, that changeup that Gonsolin has is a great weapon. He can throw it in various locations. It's a split change, and it comes out like a fastball and then just kind of disappears. When you're hunting fastballs like Zunino is, you're going to miss a lot of those if they're thrown in the right spot of the zone.
A full count.
And that's a win for Zunino to get to 3-2. If you make quality pitches the way that he's been swinging the bat, you're not getting to 3-2, and now he feels like he's got a fighting chance. But remember, on the other side, if you're Tony Gonsolin, you don't necessarily have to throw a strike here. If you make it close, he's going to swing. That's what you got to tell yourself.
He struck out 7 times. Among that 0 for 13, here's a 3-2 pitch. Just got a piece. Rays have pieced it together all season long. Had the 11th best average in the American League at 238. Led baseball in the most strikeouts by their hitters. But they had the best record in the American League at 40-20 and won the AL East for the 3rd time in their franchise history by 7 games over the Yankees. They know how to make the most of what they get. Here's another 3-2 from Gonsolin. And that is missed, I guess, or it was tipped. The way Barnes reacted is thought maybe Zunino missed it, and Kiermaier took off for 3rd, but it's a foul ball. Let's take another look.
High changeup that he catches the top half of the ball, and it had that spin on it. I mean, he hits the absolute softest way you can with that big swing, but it did not hook. It did not stay fair.
I thought that might have come back and hit the catcher. Instead, it just stayed right there in front of the plate and spun foul. And the 8th pitch of this at bat. Struck him out. 2 down. And 4 strikeouts for Gonsolin. Back to the top in Ji-Man Choi. First time that Choi has hit leadoff this postseason. Started 7 games in the leadoff spot, all during the regular season, and hit 115 in that spot. Kevin Cash trying to change it up and give a different look to this lineup. Now asks for a big 2-out RBI hit. Ball 1. Everybody has been enamored with the athletic ability and how nimble this big guy, who is 6'1", 260, has been so far this postseason. He can really move.
It's been amazing to watch the transformation of his defense, and it's why he gets more playing time, because the defense was the biggest problem until the Rays got a hold of him.
One ball, 1 strike as Dylan Floro starts to get loose for the Dodgers in their pen.
Again, when you go over your scouting reports and you look at the numbers, you're trying to figure out, okay, what do I need to do to get each guy out? Well, in this case, he's really good middle to down in the zone and down below the zone. So you saw that fastball up that he swung through and missed. You remember that. And if you get a chance with 2 strikes, you can utilize that as a weakness.
Kiermaier at second with 2 out. 1-1. 2-1.
What Tony did in the first at bat was utilize his ability to throw that changeup below the zone, thinking it was a fastball. Choi swung at it because he likes the ball down, and he wasn't able to get to it. Swung over the top of a couple changeups. You know who's on deck, and you'd rather have that guy lead off the next inning.
That would be a Rosarena. Right now it's Choi. And here's a 2-1. That's foul. 2-2.
It's hard to pitch in this game knowing you're a pitch or 2 away from being taken out of the game. But that's kind of the situation that Tony, it's only, you know, a regular season game, this would be nothing. 1 run's nothing. Man on second, 2 outs, but this is not a regular season game, and Dave Roberts looks like he's not going to let his right-hander go very long or get in much more trouble.
You make no mistake. I mean, Dave Roberts is going for it tonight.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, he's got Walker Buehler ready tomorrow if he needs it, but he is going to unload if he sees a chance to take Game 6 and end it and leave his ace for 2021. We take on that man, Charlie Morton. 2 balls, 2 strikes, runner at second, 2 out. Choi. Nope. Full count.
That ball was inside. A good slider that tied him up. 2-2 would have been a chance to go up with a fastball and then maybe go follow it with an off-speed pitch, but now he's got it 3-2. You know he has a base open. He really doesn't want to have to face the next guy with first and second.
And he may not get the chance to. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and it's 2 on with 2 out, and we'll see if that's it for Gonsolin. Well, he has picked up 5 outs, and he is finished. Arozarena is coming up, the biggest threat in the Rays lineup, the biggest threat in any lineup. Dylan Floro coming in, 2 on, 2 out, 1-0 Rays in the second.
We'll be right back after this short break.
Eyeshine FYI.
Hey, aren't you one of the eyeshiners?
Aren't you one of God's greatest creations?
No, I'm not anything special.
Of course you are.
Yeah, right. I don't sing or play or anything. I'm just a kid.
No, you're way more than a kid.
You don't even know me.
Yeah, but I know who created you, and that makes you special and amazing.
You think I'm amazing?
Amazingly awesome.
No, you're amazing. You have a CD. You're on a TV show.
That may be true, but that's not what makes me amazing.
See, you admit you're amazing.
You are too. God made us each unique and are special in our own ways.
So we're the same. That means I'm kind of like an eyeshiner too?
Mm-hmm. God loves us the same amount.
So let me get this straight. If you shine and we're the same, that means I shine?
Exactly.
Stay connected with everything eyeshine at eyeshinelive.com.
Welcome back to iShine Connect.
Here come the menaces, the sobriety, like what? Super thuggers thumping on the cut. What? Wait the cut, hit the drum, till you hear it go ba-dum-ba-ba-ba.
Well, there was nobody on when Arozarena homered in the first inning. Now he's got 2 on with 2 out. And this is an early opportunity to really relieve the pressure on Blake Snell.
As great as Randy has been, runners in scoring position has not been his thing, which is weird.
Takes a strike. He's got 10 home runs and 14 RBIs this postseason. Dylan Floro is right into the heat here in the second. Kiermaier, a 1-out double. Choi drew the walk, and that chased Gonsolin. Here's an 0-1. Strike 2.
That changeup is the one pitch of all the pitches he has struggled with. And he has been locked in against everything else. Changeups and cutters off of right-handed pitchers.
The very calm Arozarena swings, foul tips. Barnes collects, and the inning is over. What a job by Floro coming in, and on 3 pitches, dispatches of a Randy Arozarena. Good work by the Dodger right-hander. 1-0 after 1.5. Rosarena struck out with 2 on in the top of the inning, and Floro's the guy who got it done. We'll show you here in a moment as Max Muncy is first up for the Dodgers. Down by a run, leading the World Series 3-2, and ball 1 up. One ball, 1 strike.
Muncy's coming on of late. 268 overall in the postseason. 150 walks, it seems like.
1-1. Always ahead on the count. We've seen 20 home runs total in this World Series, and the ball that Muncy hit in the 5th inning, which was basically the knockout blow against Glasnow 2 nights ago, the highest exit velocity of all of them at 111 plus. Here's a 2-1. That is a little clunker out in front of the plate. Snell makes a nice play. 1 out. Let's go back to the Rosarena at bat and Dylan Floro.
Oh, this is simply executing your 3 pitches, and they're the same pitch. Change up, change up, change up. And this last one went lower. He just started the first one a little high and then went lower each time. And that's how you execute a guy's weakness. And they did it about as good as you can in 3 straight pitches. There's the change-up grip. A high leverage situation right away for Mr. Floro, and he handled it brilliant.
Will Smith stands in, the DH. That's down for ball 1. Smith with 13 hits this postseason. Had a 5-hit game against San Diego. So all these other games, just a total of 8. 1 home run this postseason. 2 in the postseason, 1 in the World Series, trying to lock in on Snell, and he's up on the count here, 2-0.
He's been much better this postseason, left-handed, off of left-handed pitchers, hit 320. Right-handers has really struggled. He's had a lot of good at-bats, but other than that 5-hit game, it's been far and few between for Will Smith.
2-0 pitch is on the outside corner. Barely. 2-1.
I always find catchers have the hardest time in the batter's box questioning pitches, because whatever they don't like, they're hoping they're going to get for their starter when you're catching. Now, obviously, Will's not catching today. He's DHing, but point still stays is the same when you're out there hitting. You want those same pitches that you may not agree for your starting pitcher when you go back behind the dish.
Yeah, from the guy that's breathing down your neck.
Yeah.
All night. That's Jerry Meals tonight. The count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Another strikeout for Snell. 4 in the 5 outs he's picked up.
Well, here's what you're going to be seeing if you're the hitter. You got a fastball that comes at you with a curveball break of that. Now that is a time of very little time to make up the difference between the two, and that is why he's on his game tonight. That's why he's so difficult. High fastball looks good, but then he'll drop that curveball right after it, and you don't have much time to decipher whether that pitch is going to break, stay in the zone or not. The reason I feel like Blake Snell is on his game, he has the touch of a changeup. He's not overthrowing and missing wild with his fastball, and he's already pounded his slider and curveball. So if you're the Rays, you're like, all right, this is the start we hope for. If we can get some more runs, add some cushion, let him pitch 5 or 6 innings.
2 quick strikes on Cody Bellinger as he faces the 2018 Cy Young Award winner from the American League, Blake Snell. 21-game winner 2 years ago. ERA under 2 in 31 starts.
He doesn't even have to mess around here with 2 strikes.
Made it look easy. He has struck out 5 through 2. Third inning rolls in, game 6. Tampa Bay up 1.
We'll be right back after this short break.
Are we on yet?
Are we on yet?
We on yet?
Oh, hi, folks. Hello, everybody.
Do we have a big one for you today?
Jordan gets the ball. He drives down the left side of the fairway.
Bo Jackson catches it at the wall and fires a bullet to McEnroe.
Straight. Gretzky, Jackson.
Ooh,
wow. Delectable. And now a word from our sponsor.
Nice shoes.
Over to you, Dick.
Over to you, Kurt.
Over to you, Tommy.
Over to you, Dick. No, the other Dick.
Over to you, Harry.
Take me out to the...
Lovely. And now a word from our sponsor.
Nice shoes.
Gretzky take the puck up the ice and fires the backhand out of the bunker for a home run. Game, set, and touchdown.
Nice shoes.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
In all my days, years, decades,
This is Sportscaster.
I've never, ever seen anything like it.
And now, a word from our sponsor.
holy cow!
Welcome back to iShine Connect.
Before we start the third inning, we remind you, for unique content and hot stove updates during the offseason, follow at MLB on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. As Alex Wood, we're in the third inning, and here's the third pitcher of the night for the Dodgers. He's been very good with his stuff this postseason.
Yeah, funky mechanics and hard to hit if you're lefties, but that's what he's in to get.
Oh. And the hitter Meadows went around on that, according to the home plate umpire. At least went too far. And the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Meadows, then Lau, then Margot. If anybody gets on, another lefty, Wendell. Hence the lefty Wood, and the count 1-2.
That's what Dave Roberts wants to do, is get through these 3 hitters, and we'll see what he does with the rest. I mean, Wood.
Boy, that was filthy. And 6 strikeouts for Alex Wood in now 5 total innings, 1 down.
Of course, starter most of his career. You can see how funky he is to locate where the ball's coming. And slider down and away, nowhere close to the plate.
Brings in Lau. Brandon takes the ball outside. Wood is only 29 years old. Here's one that Wood has to field, has plenty of time, and flips for out number 2. This came up with Atlanta in 2013 and into the game here in the third tonight.
Need to focus on the game? Hey Siri, turn on Do Not Disturb.
I've been working the heck out of that button this month.
Yeah, I bet. Mine just went to that. Is that possible off the TV?
Anything's possible, John. Don't you know that by now? Anything is possible.
Well, that's what the Rays are hoping. They're hoping that they have the right mixture in these next 2 games to pull off an improbable year when you think about their offense. They left spring training, the second spring training. They knew their strengths. Every player knew their strengths, and they started off offensively really bad. Talking to Kevin Cash, like, I don't know where we're going to get our offense from. Well, then it kicked in with a bunch of homers and timely hitting, and it's carried through the postseason in a way that their stomachs, I don't know how they do it, but they're confident in these kind of games.
There's a strike to make it 2-1 on Margot.
2-1, 2-0, 1-run games. That is right up their alley because of who's coming out of the pen and the defense they play.
Here's one into right center field. Bellinger to his left makes a nice running grab. And the first 1-2-3 inning put up by a Dodger pitcher. It's game 6 of the 116th World Series. Tampa Bay trying to force a game 7, leading by 1.
We'll be right back after this short break.
The power of baseball goes beyond the field.
What an exciting time.
Stand up to
Together. Together.
A message from Major League Baseball.
Welcome back to iShine Connect.
Tonight's telecast sponsored by Geico. Happy Geicoing. You could save even more by bundling home and car insurance. By Chevrolet, introducing the all-new Chevy Suburban and Tahoe. And by IBM, let's put smart to work. Yep, I copied the old man, a Jack Buck cover band. That's what I became that night. We'll see you tomorrow night when David Freese solidified his spot in Cardinal lore after Kirby Puckett hit a home run to force a game 7. That year, John, was...
I don't know, blacked out.
That year, 1991.
That year doesn't... Yeah, it was 1991.
It forced, you know, one of your best efforts the next night.
It was epic game 7.
Taylor hits a knock into left center field, and the Dodgers have their first runner of the night. Breaking ball that hung, and Taylor shot it to the left of Adames. Leadoff man is on, and Snell says, no problem.
Taylor needed that. He had been in this swing and miss mode. Getting a hit right there and feeling it off the bat's got to feel pretty good for him. And when you look at these two lineups, from the bottom of this lineup, a lot more production. That's why the Dodgers have been collectively tougher offensively than the Rays have.
It'll bring in A.J. Pollock. If you had to put money on it, unless Pollock just has a great first half of this ball game, he is getting the start, but likely won't end the ball game in the lineup. Manager Dave Roberts looking for the right spot to get Jock Peterson in the ball game and Kike Hernandez, and that'll come once the bullpen brigade starts for the Rays.
Yeah, both them, especially that guy right there. He's been unreal this postseason, and in his career in the postseason, he seems to, the lights come on, and he shows up in a big way.
First pitch, a strike to Pollock, who hit 16 home runs in the regular season.
And lit up left-handers in the regular season. This year it's been the opposite in the postseason. He's had a much better time of it against right-handers than he has the left-handers, hitting 143 this postseason.
That's not good when you're splitting time with the lefty Peterson. That is chopped foul, strike 2. 1 for 4 in the series, 9 for 39, 2 RBIs, but hitting .231 this postseason. Came up with Arizona in 2012 in his second year in a Dodger uniform. Five times on the injured list. Just trying to figure out a way to stay healthy and produce, and he did that this year.
I just feel like in this series, when you reach game 6, the more nervous I would get if I was a pitcher, especially late as this game might get, is beating the shift. Nobody shifts more than these kind of teams and these hitters in this park. Someone's going to beat the shift at a crucial time, and it's going to be a painful memory for one of these clubs. It's just a feeling I've got. You know, you can get away with it in game 2, game 3, but when you're on the brink of elimination or trying to win a World Series,
because just to ask you this and take it one step further. You say you get nervous as a pitcher later in the ball game, either trying to win a World Series or stave off elimination. The shift is dependent on how you're also going to pitch the hitter. And if you're nervous, you may not make the pitch you should make, and now you're giving up a hit where you wouldn't typically give it up.
That's part of it, correct. But I think that if someone's got something in their back pocket, I believe there's about 5 guys on each of these teams that could deliberately get a hit if they wanted to. And it's not necessarily right here. You can cover right here. I'm talking 6th, 7th, 8th inning when these come up, but the unintended, the accidental hit, you know, when you make your pitch. But the shifts over the course of 162 and in this case 60 games definitely play out in your favor 100%. But that's an accumulation of games that don't have the magnitude that what these two teams are dealing with right now.
There are the numbers of why the shift is on, playing Pollock to pull. Taylor has not attempted a steal this postseason. 2 out of 4 during the 60-game regular season. And getting a lot of attention from Blake Snell. One thing we haven't talked about, John, with these smaller crowds, about 11,000 in the ballpark tonight. These pitchers and the hitters can hear everything that's being yelled at them from the opposing dugout.
Yeah, it's an unusual scenario, even though you're in this kind of cone of focus, a hyper focus, because these games create that a regular season just really doesn't.
That's hard hit, caught. Wendell reached high to grab it, 1 on, 1 out.
Just speaking, when you mentioned that 1991, I mean, it was a dome. It was super loud as you watch this line drive really flushed. It was so loud you and I couldn't have a conversation on the bench, and I remember just being out on the mound and just this buzz, and it was a dull roar. That means you're doing your job. If it's a loud roar, that's when players, that's what we're missing here, right? The young players don't have that going against them per se, and it's an interesting dynamic that all the players have gotten used to.
This is the only ballpark where any players have played in front of fans in 2020. And tonight, because of the weather was horrible today. It's in the 30s and rainy. The roof is closed, which they told everybody coming in the ball wouldn't travel. Don't tell that to Rosarena.
I found myself watching him in batting practice, and the line drives that he was hitting are unlike anybody else's line drives.
He makes a big outfield look really small. Right now it's Snell, 1 on, 1 out. And the 0-1 to the number 9 hitter Austin Barnes is in for strike 2.
That's the pitch I've been most impressed with in a pressure game, elimination game. Sometimes you know you're going to have your fastball and slider go to, but it's that changeup touch pitch. He hasn't cut any of those. He's pitched that pitch about as well as you can. And again, mentioning about the Dodgers, if you are confined to throwing them fastballs, you're in trouble.
Chopped to third. Tough little pickup by Wendell. Wide throw, and the tag by Ji-Man Choi. 2 down.
Well, big play to get a runner at second, even though they got the runner out at first. This is where Mookie Betts has been at his best. He hasn't had the greatest postseason that we're accustomed to average wise. So we watch this play. Wendell's as good as anybody. Mookie has been good with runners in scoring position.
Choi has been really good at this, coming off the bag and making tags. In fact, went up earlier in this World Series into the air and tagged Mookie Betts going by. Well, it's Betts at the plate, tying run at second with 2 out. Betts struck out his first time. Takes a strike at 97.
This is where you formulate your game plan as a pitcher. You know all the situations facing what they can do and what they can't. You save something for this exact situation when you're thinking about each hitter. All right, Mookie Betts in scoring position. Here's how I'm going to try to get him out differently than I would just leading off the game.
Seven RBIs this postseason, a big one sitting out there right now with 2 out.
1-1. The question will be for Blake Snell, does he save the curveball when he gets to 2 strikes? Sometimes you don't get to 2 strikes without using that pitch.
Good take by Betts. 2-1. Zunino, we've talked about it, but heck, we're in the 6th game of this series. He hasn't hit, but when anything has been in the dirt, he's turned himself into a wall back there.
There's the curveball.
Here's a 2-1 to Betts. 95 right down the middle and a 2-2 count.
That is just a product of Mookie looking for something else, because he throws him with a fastball, as you mentioned, down the middle, trying to go away. You can definitely do that before 2 strikes, but then with 2 strikes, you got to look for fastball and then adjust as a hitter. Most will tell you that's exactly what they got to do against a pitcher like Blake Snell.
Another strikeout for Snell. 6, and he's gotten Betts twice. Dodgers strand their first. We've played 3. 1-0. Tampa Bay.
We'll be right back after this short break.
Is kitty cat's fur sticking everywhere? Is your carpet covered with lint and hair? Don't get stuck. Stick It. Introducing Stick It, the incredible new rolling cleaner that attracts dirt like a super magnet. Don't lug out that heavy vacuum. Watch. Just roll Stick It over this filthy carpet. It cleans up lint, fur, dust, and hair. Run it under the faucet and look, it rinses away in seconds like it was never ever there. Made of space-age adhesive, it's sticky to the touch when dry, super slick when wet. Use it over and over again, up to 1,000 times. Amazing! Its easy grip extension handle stretches to reach dust on drapes, cobwebs from ceiling corners. Hate to clean those hard-to-reach places? Just stick it, then rinse clean in water and wash the mess away. Beach sand is hard to clean. Stick It attracts the tiny particles and rinses away in seconds. Now, you can get your Stick It with extension handle for the amazing low price of only $19.95. But wait, we'll also include Stick It upholstery cleaner. It's perfect for car seats and carpeting. It cleans an entire velveteen couch in seconds. Then just rinse off the mess. Great for countertop spills. Picks up party mess. And watch this. Glitter is gone in a flash. It sticks like glue. Order in the next 10 minutes and we'll include Stick It clothing cleaner absolutely free. Perfect for pocket or purse. White wrap it on your black coat. Roll on Stick It to clean up in seconds. Fido just wants to say goodbye. Don't cry. Use Stick It to brush hair away in a flash. Now, you get the Stick It floor roller with extension handle, the Stick It handheld roller, and your free Stick It clothing roller. All for just $19. $19.95. Don't get stuck. Stick it. Stick it.
Have your credit card ready and call 1-800-230-8484 or send $19.95 plus shipping to Stick It, P.O. Box 66, Marlboro, Massachusetts 01752. For faster delivery, call 1-800-230-8484.
Welcome back to iShine Connect.
Major League Baseball encourages fans to take an active role in their communities and make a plan to vote this election season. Visit MLB.com/vote to learn more. As a strike is into Joey Wendell. 6, 7, and 8 hitters for the Tampa Bay Rays. And for our guest on the headset, he hopes many more. Kevin Cash, you've got to be thrilled with the way your left-hander, Blake Snell, is working here tonight.
Yeah, no doubt. He's been outstanding. Kind of picked up right where he left off from game 2. And we just got to give him a little support on the offensive side.
Yeah, and you've been looking for that really all postseason. Amazing. I'm sure you don't get tired of talking about it. Randy Arozarena just flicking that ball out to right. He looks like he's been doing this his whole life. He's a rookie.
It's some kind of special. No words can describe it. He's picked us up in so many ways, and hopefully the rest of the guys can get on his back, because we've been on his back the entire postseason, I think.
But just keep riding. Here's Adames now, and here's a guy you would love to get going.
Yeah, no doubt, and he will. He's going to come up with a big hit with some guys on base here eventually, and I think that'll just kind of release and take some pressure off of him.
Did you know you're the first man to play in the Little League World Series, play in the College World Series, Florida State, and manage in the MLB World Series?
I had heard that, and I tell everybody it's not a good thing when you peak at 11 years old.
Now, that's not true. You're being humble. Hey, thanks for the time, and thanks for being so gracious throughout this entire postseason. You're fun to cover, and good luck to you, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
All right, 1 out, nobody on here in the 4th inning. 1-0 Rays lead, and now 2 out. Second strikeout for Wood as he works his 2nd inning.
Well, Wood has been nasty, and so has Blake Snell. And when you're in rhythm, you don't mind pitching in a 1-0 game. I'm telling you, most pitchers will tell you, if it's tight for about 4 or 5 innings, perfect. Then add on. And then it just feels like that it's a 7-run lead.
Here's a strike to Kiermaier.
But we did talk, with Kevin, and this type of score, this type of game was going to be the toughest to manage.
I know the game has changed a lot in the short time, John, you've been out.
Yeah.
But I feel like you would have liked playing for Kevin Cash.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt. I mean, anytime a manager feels and knows how hard the game is and really has the heartbeat of his club and believes in his players, you can't help but want to do everything you can for that kind of manager.
And these guys all feel that way. Kevin Cash is a big reason why the Rays are playing in the 6th game of the World Series.
Yep.
Alex Wood is a big reason why this has remained a 1-run game. 2 perfect innings put up by the Dodger left-hander. 2, 3, and 4 hitters coming up. That means Corey Seager up first. Still 1-0 Rays.
We'll be right back after this short break.
50 years ago, a miracle happened right here in Southern California. That miracle was TBN, launched through the faith and vision of Paul and Jan Crouch.
I call it devil busting satellite. Glory to God. Oh, I love the sound of that.
But they didn't do it alone. It took a core group of special partners helping lay the foundation for the impact TBN has today.
Paul and Jan didn't have a good idea. They had a response to the voice of the Lord. If it happened for us, it can happen to anybody.
Were you one of those early partners? If so, thank you. We'd love to hear from you and find out what TBN has meant to you through the years. Please visit tbn.org/mystory or give us a call at 1-800-735-5542. That's 1-800-735-5542. And thank you.
Welcome back to iShine Connect.
Corey Seager was the MVP of the NLCS. Boy, did he earn that. We'll give you our Chevy MVP watch on the Dodgers side. In this World Series, Seager, in my mind, is leading that race. Kershaw, Turner, Muncy for Tampa Bay. Rosarena, and then who else?
Could be Blake Snell if he keeps striking out the world.
Yeah, good point. He has struck out 6. Seager up there ready to hit. Fouls it away, strike 1.
Tough matchup for Seager, but he hasn't seen anybody that has been too tough on him in the postseason. This will be the toughest. The angle of which Snell throws, the breaking ball that he has, really tough for the left-hander to pick it up. You know, it looks like when he delivers, he's going to dip that front shoulder, but he does a great job staying in balance. You'll see that Blake Snell has such an electric fastball. It comes out of the backside right here, a little dip, and then he goes wham. And that's how he gets so much arm speed. The problem with it is if you're off just a little bit and you leap too quickly towards home, that's when his stuff gets average. Well, that hasn't been the case tonight.
One, 2. Abe Juriseski and the Sports Radar crew helping us throughout this postseason. Gives me a card that says the ERA by inning for Blake Snell, regular and postseason, innings 1 through 3, 0.90, including tonight. 7.24 ERA from inning 4 on. But his stuff tonight just looks different.
Yeah.
And a strikeout is number 7 on the night.
So before this batter, this is how he got his strikeouts, and he'd been a good job of mixing it up. A changeup, fastball. He had 4 strikeouts with fastballs. And as I said, if you don't get the secondary pitches all over, you're not going to be able to throw the fastballs. There's the breakdown. And for Blake Snell, he has been on attack. He has thrown strikes, and here's the breaking ball for the last one. You've got to neutralize the left-handers for the Dodgers, and he has done that and more.
With 1 out, nobody on, that skips in there for ball 1, and that's always kind of the other side to the analytics. That's all history. You know, the ERA innings 1 through 3 compared to 4 on. This is now, and right now Blake Snell is as good as any pitcher you'll find walking the planet the way he's thrown.
And you know the biggest key about everything that he's done? 45 pitches. So you can throw that right out the window when you get to the 3rd time through the lineup. I get it what this says over the course of 162, or in this case 60. Look, sometimes your eyes will win out. And the hardest part about Kevin Cash's job is he's got tremendous arms in the pen, and the eagerness to get to it probably is in his forefront of his mind. He's worked out 20 scenarios. Before this game was played, they've worked out at least 20 different scenarios of what if this guy comes up, this is what we want to do. And sometimes as a starting pitcher, you can eliminate 10 of those or 15 of those and make it a little easier on your manager if you're dealing.
You asked him what will be the toughest decision, do you think, tonight when we talked to him 5 hours ago?
You're staring at it. It's 1-0 in the 4th or 5th is what he said.
2-2, and he said, you know, if I know that Blake has got more to give, but I need a big out with a certain matchup, and he's got Castillo or somebody else ready to Fairbanks in the bullpen, that's going to be the hardest decision if he knows that Snell has more gas in the tank.
Yeah, because he doesn't have any room for error, right? He's down 3 games to 2. He needs to force a game 7.
He's just tying these Dodger hitters in knots. That is strikeout number 8, out number 2. And the inning will continue for Muncy. Tonight's telecast sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. And by Tom Verducci, what are you seeing down there?
Well, Rays pitching coach Kyle Snyder told me the stuff that Blake had in Game 2 was the best he's had since the second half of his Cy Young season. Tonight, it's even better. And what he liked especially about the matchup of Snell against this Dodger lineup is that Blake has more weapons than any other Rays pitcher. 4 to right-handed hitters, 3 to left-handers. And he's landing all of them tonight. The hitting coach for the Dodgers, Robert Von Scoyoc, told me hitting against Blake Snell is like playing chess. And right now, Blake is controlling the middle of the board with all of his pitches. I have not seen the Dodgers take as many off-balance swings in the whole postseason as I've seen tonight. And just to give you an idea, Joe, on his slider especially, Mookie Betts, until the World Series, had swung and missed that one left-handed slider all year. He's missed 2 from Blake Snell.
And he has struck out twice. Top 3 in the lineup. 0 for 6 with 6 strikeouts. Here's a 2-0 to Muncy, and it's 2-1.
But Blake has shown that ability to mix and match in the strike zone, and then the kill switch, like throwing it out of the zone with 2 strikes. He's not messing around. That's why he only has 52 pitches. And the ability that he has to hit with his secondary stuff is similar to what the Braves were able to do to the Dodgers the first 2 games of the previous series.
He falls behind. He comes right back and evens the count. 97. Too much for Muncy there. 2-2.
Max Fried threw the most curveballs, breaking balls he had ever thrown, and it was successful in Game 1. Now it didn't turn that way for the second time. And facing Blake Snell this time, the second time, he's been even better. And that changeup, I think, has been such a big weapon tonight that it's really messed with the Dodgers. You can see, whenever you jump off the mound like that, you realize you have tried to throw the very best breaking ball you can, and he was frustrated because whenever he's been wanting to pull somebody away, he's made that pitch. This one didn't give Muncy a chance. And Blake knew it.
Struck out the side. 9 in the ball game. Pitch count is down. Velocity is up. So are the Rays' hopes. Stay tuned for the 5th inning giveaway from T-Mobile, the leader in 5G coverage.
We'll be right back after this short break.
The power of baseball goes beyond the field.
It starts with kindness, reaching out a helping hand. Even the smallest gestures mean the world to a lot of people.
Stand up to cancer.
Together. Together. Together.
Together.
A message from Major League Baseball.
Welcome back to iShine Connect.
Tonight's aerial coverage brought to you by Camping World. Roof is closed. 1-0. Tampa Bay on top. We're into the 5th inning of Game 6 as the Rays try to force a winner-take-all tomorrow night. Pedro Baez is the 4th pitcher of the night. Wood was perfect. And Baez deals to Zunino. And that's strike 1. Zunino, then Choi, then Arozarena.
Well, Baez is in there because he can throw that pitch, that changeup again. We've seen the neutralizer against Arozarena with the changeups out of Floro, and now you got the Baez changeup.
No. And he can also get it up there in the mid-90s. That fastball missed. G-Man Choi is on deck. Here's a 1-1 to Zunino.
Oh. slipped and threw a gem. That was you don't see that very often. He let go of it and then just kind of rolled on his spike. But he got away with a fastball that typically is at 95. He threw it 89 because he didn't have his footing.
Once he walked a couple steps in to make sure Baez was okay, and now the 1-2. A strikeout starts the inning, and we'll bring in the big leadoff man, 6'1", 260, but he can move as he has proven night after night. All right, 1 out, nobody on, and Joy 0 for 1. His walk as he pops it up. That's an easy second out. His walk chased the starter Gonsolin, and since then the bullpen from Floro to Wood, now Baez, has been perfect. And Arozarena will walk in. He is homered and struck out. Here's Ken Rosenthal.
Well, Joe, the Rays were on Arozarena early. His first spring training in the United States, the spring of 2017, a Rays scout named J.D. Ellaby filed a very favorable report on him. Tyler Storr, another Rays scout, backed that up with an equally glowing report after seeing Arozarena in A-ball in the Florida State League. As time went on, the Rays, in watching film of Arozarena in the Cardinals system, noticed that he started to make more contact, and that as he started to make more contact, he was hitting the ball harder. They viewed him as a premium athlete with emerging baseball skill. They believed he could develop into a solid regular. They never expected this.
He's just 25 years old, born in Havana. And when you look at his minor league numbers, it's not like he didn't hit. I mean, it's not like this has come totally out of nowhere, but at this level, at this time of the year, his home run back in the first inning, the only run of the night, his 10th of the postseason, as he continues to add to all of these postseason records he is racking up.
He just isn't jumpy, and obviously you can't be if you're going to hit 10 home runs and hit with the average he has this postseason. Even the pitches that he's tracked that he thought might not be a strike, he comes right back if they throw it close to that area. And the only pitch, again, the only pitch he has really struggled with is a changeup. And not everybody on the Dodgers has that kind of changeup. Pedro does, however.
Arozarena sitting on something here with a count of 2-1, and he takes a strike. He didn't like the call. His last year in the minor leagues, John, in Springfield, he hit .309. Memphis hit .358. With the Cardinals at the end of the year, hit .300. Gets traded, and now he's got just about every hitting record, total bases, hits, and home runs in a single postseason. Here's a 2-2. Hard hit, another hit. A 2-2 pitch, and Randy Arozarena has got to make people in the Cardinals front office turn off their TV.
Yeah, he got a high changeup right there. Lucky that that ball stayed on the ground and not in the air. And he won't be at first base long. He's got to steal second against Baez, and he may not even get a chance. They're going to take him out, but just another hit.
Baez is gone with Meadows coming up. And a pitching change here in the 5th inning as the left-hander Victor Gonzalez comes into the ballgame. 1 on, 2 out, still 1-0. Tampa Bay on top.
We'll be right back after this short break.
In the 80s, we danced to a new beat. Presenting modern rock, 24 new wave dance hits. modern rock on 2 CDs or 2 cassettes for just $12.99. Plus, order with your credit card and get this free bonus album featuring Fine Young Cannibals. That's 3 albums for just $12.99.
We can dance if we want to. We can leave your friends behind. Cause your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, well, they're no friends of mine.
Then audition other modern rock albums. There's no minimum to buy. Satisfaction guaranteed.
If you leave, I won't cry. I always
Modern rock is not in stores.
This one goes out to the one I love.
So, order with your credit card and get 3 albums for just $12.99.
Call 1-800-391-8855 to order Modern Rock for $12.99 for CD or cassette plus shipping. Use your credit card and receive a free bonus CD. That's 1-800-391-8855. Or send check or money order to Modern Rock, Department 8, Richmond, Virginia 23280. Or order online at timelife.com.
Welcome back to iShine Connect.
Baez goes 2/3 of an inning, allows a 2-out hit to Arozarena, and that brings in Austin Meadows. And Meadows stays in to face the left-hander Gonzalez.
The only thing you got to tell yourself if you're Gonzalez, don't leave a fastball or anything middle to middle in against the left-hander. Everything should be away or up, and you'll be okay based on the scouting report.
That is a ground ball to the right side, and coming out of the stands is Taylor to make the play. Out in shallow right. 1 pitch. The end of the top of the 5th. Bottom half rolls in. Dodgers bat down 1. Strikeout starts the 9th for Snell.
That's nasty.
He struck out the side. You can't do it any better. Look out. He's just tying these Dodger hitters in knots.
How do you like that?
Well, Blake Snell has become the 2nd pitcher in World Series history with 9 strikeouts through the first 4 innings of a ball game. The other, Sandy Koufax in '63. World Series Game 1 against the Yankees. That was a championship season for the Dodgers. Here is Will Smith trying to bunt his way on. And he fouls at strike 1. The Dodgers franchise has won 6 World Series, 55 in Brooklyn, then moving to LA in 58, one in 59, 63, 65, 81, and then 88, 32 years ago. Oh, 1 pitch to Will Smith, one of the 9 strikeout picked up tonight by Snell. Joan Hodges, widow of the late great Gil Hodges, the powerful, graceful first baseman and the beloved leader of one of baseball's most beloved teams, the Boys of Summer. Dodgers of the 1950s. Joan lives in the same house in Flatbush, Brooklyn, that she shared with Gil, and Joan watches all of these games rooting for the Dodgers. So hello, and who knows how this one's going to end up, Joan or Dodger fans or Ray fans.
Well, you know, this game reminds me so much of, although be it the LCS, the game that Steve Avery pitched on the road against the Pirates, 0-0 in the 9th. He wins 1-0, trying to give us a chance to pitch game 7. And I've said there's a comp, you know, that Avery and Blake Snell. And when you're in a game like this, Blake Snell does not, I bet you he knows consciously what the score is, but he absolutely knows that he's in a rhythm, and the score, he's comfortable. It's 1-0, but he's completely comfortable because he's in command of everything.
Home umpire Jerry Meal says, That's low. Ball 1 to Bellinger, who struck out his first time and missed. Whoop. Incoming. The Wasp. Hopefully it's not a murder hornet. But it is 2020. And by the way, Cody missed the wasp. I wouldn't want to make that thing mad.
No, definitely not.
1-0 pitch on the way, and a pop-up down the left field line that will get out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike.
But just to finish up that point, when you're in a game like this, you're not thinking, oh, 1 swing ties it up. You're thinking, they're not getting a hit off me. And if they're not getting a hit off me, they're not going to score. And I know that Blake Snell knows that chances are he's not going to be given the opportunity to go 8 or 9. But if he can pitch 6, maybe 7, that allows Kevin Cash to turn it over to his flamethrowers in the pen. But hard for me to take him out anytime soon, that's for sure.
1-1 pitch is fouled back. The last time Blake Snell went a full 6 innings was July of 2019.
And he had some injuries, of course, that he's been dealing with. He wasn't completely right to start this year. And he mentioned to us that it wasn't until recently that he feels he is really where he should be. September, something clicked late September for him.
2-2. I mentioned Joan Hodges. Do you know who her nephew is?
I do not.
Yeah, you know him.
I probably will once you tell me the name.
He's on our crew. Him.
Really?
Tom Verducci.
Oh.
And we don't have his mic open. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out, nobody on.
Get over.
And a grounder that's fair, and that's out number 2. Say hi to your aunt, Tom.
Yeah. Shout out to Aunt Joan. The best. Love you.
I mean, who knew?
I did, and now I do. That's locked.
I got to tell you,
in my memory.
If Joan Hodges was my aunt, you'd know that Joan Hodges was my aunt. It'd be one of the first things I'd say. Here's Taylor with 2 out, nobody on. Chris has the only hit, the only base runner tonight. He hit a hanging breaking ball into left center field for a single leading off the 3rd, and then was stuck at first. He homered off Snell back in game 2, and that was kind of the beginning of the end of the night for Blake, who did not get through the required 5 innings to be eligible for the win.
And I'll bet he'll go to his slider before he goes to his curveball again against Taylor.
Or just work the corners at 95 as the count evens 1-1. Back in that 3rd inning tonight, the single, Pollock hit a rope caught by the 3rd baseman Wendell. Barnes grounded out, and that moved Taylor down to 2nd, and Mookie Betts struck out. So the Dodgers have had a man in scoring position. 0 for 1 tonight, and that was Betts. That's inside. 2-1 on Taylor. When you've got John Smoltz saying wow over a live pitch, you're pitching well. 2-2.
It's just smooth, and everything in his mechanics is right on point. Right, it's the same thing when a hitter's hot. There's no in between. And really, he's only made 1 bad pitch, and that was the single he gave up to Taylor.
Every time a ball hits the dirt, it's gone. Did you want to use a baseball that touched dirt when you were pitching?
Oh, yeah. I got a funny story I'll tell you. Can't tell it now. It's 2 strikes, 2 outs.
But I mean, if it touches, it's gone.
Yeah.
Out of the game.
That progressively has happened over the years, of course.
Here is a 3-2 pitch and a check swing. Snell. This is his night so far, huh? 5 innings in the books. He's allowed 1 hit, no runs, struck out 9. He and the Rays lead game 6, 1-0. They make me read this, Rays fans. If there's no game 7 tomorrow, if we'll have an all-new episode of TV's #1 show, The Masked Singer, followed by a new episode of I Can See Your Voice. If the Rays win tonight, we have game 7 tomorrow. The Masked Singer and I Can See Your Voice will be back 1 week from tomorrow, right here on Fox. 6th inning, 1-0 on the home run by Arozarena in the 1st inning. And Gonzalez back to work, and hammering at the first pitch is Lau, strike 1.
So you asked about the ball.
Yes.
I got a ball after a ground ball. Perfect spot on the left panel of the baseball. A scuff mark. And like golf and like baseball, the ball goes the opposite way of a ball that's scuffed up. I think I threw 7 consecutive pitches that were swings and misses. I just kept throwing a split after split. Chipper was young then. He was playing third base. Little ground ball foul. He picked it up and threw it in the stands. I almost fought him on the field. And he was like, "What are you doing? What are you talking about?" I said, "Don't ever throw a ball away. Make them throw it away." That's last time he threw it in the stands.
Using a scuff mark to your advantage. 0-2 the count on Lau, who is 0 for 1 with a walk and a comebacker against Alex Wood, who was great.
Yeah, Wood was great. He creates that unique angle that the Rays have utilized in their whole pen. Gonzalez, a converted starter, put him in the pen. They love his stuff. He's had to get some big outs this postseason.
That last one bounced in there, so Jerry Meals threw it back. Meals, the home plate umpire, is going to need to ice down after tonight's game. Brusdar Gratterall getting loose as there's another one in the dirt. Jerry. This time it's Barnes that throws the new ball to the pitcher and the old ball to the dugout. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Will Margot and Joey Wendell the next 2. Good pitch by Gonzalez, 1 away. And the batter will be Margot. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by T-Mobile, your ticket to the game with America's largest 5G network. And by Dell Technologies, when it comes to your business, we'll stop at nothing. The fans have been great here.
Yes, they have.
The staff at this ballpark has been fantastic. This has been the perfect host city for the NLCS and now the World Series.
Sure has. And this game's not filled with nerves, by the way. This is filled with nasty pitching. We got to be headed towards an all-time strikeout record for a World Series game, I would imagine. And every arm that's come in, very little mistakes. And that guy right there is locked in. Probably won't look at the scoreboard one time. Doesn't need to.
In fact, as we play here in the top of the 6th, Dodger pitchers have struck out more Rays hitters than Blake Snell has against the Dodgers. Snell just went through a strikeoutless inning for the first time tonight. He has struck out 9 in the Dodger pitching. Gonsolin, Floro, Wood, Baez, and Gonzalez have struck out 10.
Yeah, and the Rays have done a nice job, even though the offense has led the Dodgers to a 3-2 lead. Coming into the postseason, the Dodgers were one of the hardest teams in all of baseball to strike out. Well, not the case for the Rays. They were the easiest. But the strikeouts coming into this game were really close between both of the teams.
That's foul.
I think the Rays had a small advantage of the more strikeouts than the Dodgers by 4 or 5, but you can throw a lot of that out the window if the Rays are able to try to figure out or piece together this gem and force a game 7. Charlie Morton is in the position of hoping to benefit to pitch another Game 7 situation. He is on more pins and needles than Walker Buehler is, because Buehler has the luxury of his team winning tonight and not having to pitch. So you're in that mode of kind of getting ready, kind of involved in the game, but not too much. Stoic, waiting your turn if it's called upon.
It was like an ode to Fernando Valenzuela by Gonzalez as he spun. I didn't see him look to the sky, but he spun all the way around and delivered it low for ball 1.
Little Fernando and Louis Tiant.
And a new baseball. 1-2 on Margot, who is 0 for 2. I hope they brought a nice supply of baseballs here tonight.
Forget the numbers. Someone can look it up for us, but there's an unbelievable amount of dozens of baseballs that go through a game just for what you mentioned. You know, balls that are hitting play off the dirt. They don't stay in play very long unless you strike a guy out and he doesn't make contact on any of those. You get to keep the baseball.
Here's the 2-2 and a strikeout by Gonzalez. Now he has struck out the first 2 of the 6th. And that's 11 strikeouts of Rays hitters. But the story of the night, as we look at our game summary, is that man, Blake Snell. 5 innings, 1 hit, 9 strikeouts, no walks, low pitch count. And Arozarena doing his thing, and the Dodgers looking for their first World Series win since '88, 32 years ago. They're tired of hearing about it. This is the only run of the night with 1 out in the first inning. Arozarena with his 10th postseason home run the other way. That's down to Wendell, ball 1.
So here's the deal. When people are going to be sitting at home, and at some point Blake Snell is going to be taken out. And at some point in this series, when people have taken out certain pitchers, you sit there and go, why, how, what? It's not the physical tiredness. It's the mental tiredness. It's the mental grind of every pitch, attention to detail in a 1-0 game that gets you a little bit more fatigued mentally. But there's not a physical tiredness, especially with the shorter season. There is a compromised season of making adjustments, but it's not your pitch 240 and they're at the end of your tank. So it won't be a physical issue. It'll be more of a mental issue of grinding on pitches in a close game that I'm sure Kevin Cash will be looking at.
And he's got weapons in his pen.
Correct.
They're not trying to hide those guys. They feature them. Here comes a 1-1 pitch to Wendell. Strike 2. How about the work done by Floro, Wood, Baez, now Gonzalez. They've combined to allow 1 hit. That was Arozarena that chased Baez. 6 strikeouts over the last 3 2/3. Here's a 1-2.
Well, as long as the Rays have a lead, he won't make, Kevin, I don't think will make many changes into his offense because he has the lead. If he was needing some rally or runs, I wouldn't think some of these left-handers would face a left-hander, but he has that 1-0 lead.
2-2 pitch. Struck him out, and Gonzalez strikes out the side. And the hitters have been frustrated all night against the Dodgers. Their bullpen against Blake Snell. What a game. 1-0 Tampa Bay after 5.5.
We'll be right back after this short break.
I'm looking for a new baby, a new love. Yeah, the 80s are back. And they're hotter than ever. Time Life presents the Sounds of the 80s collection. We come together to rock the track. Shake your love, shake your love, I'll take and shake your love. Get Sounds of the 80s, 18 hits for just $12.99. Bump the jam, bump it up, yo. Use your credit card and get this free bonus album, Ultra Mix, featuring 12 hot dance tracks. You can't touch this. You can't touch this. That's 30 hits for just $12.99. Out of my dreams. Then audition other 80s albums. Satisfaction's guaranteed. So order with your credit card and get 2 albums for just $12.99. You're unbelievable.
Call 1-800-551-9696 to order Sounds of the 80s for $12.99 for CD or cassette, plus $3.99 shipping and handling. Use your credit card and receive a free bonus album. That's 1-800-551-9696 or send check or money order to Sounds of the 80s, Department 32, Richmond, Virginia, 23280.
Welcome back to iShine Connect.
The World Series on Fox is sponsored by Fox Sports 5G View, powered by Samsung Galaxy. Download the all-new app for an interactive fan experience that you can control from around the diamond in real time. Available only on 5G-enabled Android devices. 1 hit for the Dodgers, 4 for the Rays. The only hit that is counted for anything, the hit that left the park off the bat of Randy Arozarena in the first.
If you're the Dodgers, you're going to have to get aggressive early on the first pitch. Pick one out and try to do damage with it.
It's Pollock, and he picked one out. No damage. Out behind second base. Lau puts it away. 1 pitch. 1 out in the 6th. The batter will be Austin Barnes, the number 9 man. And now a quick word from T-Mobile, the leader in 5G coverage.
The reason I say that is because their MO has always been work the count, get deep. Well, guess what that did for them early on? There was a lot of strikeouts, and especially these 2 hitters I thought would be aggressive. Good pitch selection by Blake Snell on that first pitch.
Here's Barnes showing bunt, taking a ball high. We've already set a record for a World Series game through 6 innings. We're only in the bottom half of the 6th, but 21 combined strikeouts. $12 by Dodger hurlers, 9 by number 4, who finds the bottom corner of the strike zone. 1 ball, 1 strike on Barnes.
Yeah, he's done a great job jumping out early with all those strikeouts. You can still get a lot of outs without getting the K ball, and that would be the recipe for Blake Snell with nobody on.
Nick Anderson getting loose.
Just amazing that the very scenario Kevin Cash was dreading out of 20 of them is kind of this one.
Here's one into center, and the number 9 man Barnes is aboard with 1 out in the 6th.
That's going to be it.
Man, you talk about a short leash. 73 pitches, 2 hits, 9 strikeouts. Snell can't believe it. As Kevin Cash said, these guys need short memories and thick skin because this is the way we do it. And we'll see how it works out. That is the reaction when he saw his manager coming to get the baseball as the Rays dip into their bullpen here in the 6th inning, up 1. At least 3 opinions on what we just saw transpire. A 1-out hit by Austin Barnes. Back to the top of the order, and Nick Anderson comes into the game. His numbers very different than the regular season. Snell is now in the dugout watching after initially walking through the dugout and up the tunnel. As Mookie Betts, consider the fact that Snell held the top 3 hitters in this Dodger lineup tonight to 0 for 6 with 6 strikeouts.
Yeah, you know, general rules. Tell you right after this pitch.
It's a 1-0 to Betts. 2-0.
You know, the conventional wisdom of any time you take somebody out that makes the other team happy that you took them out, the guy that comes in better be just as nasty. And they have that. They do have that. But in a series of 3 games to 2, we talked through this scenario with Kevin Cash, and he was not bashful in being able to tell us this was what he was going to do if the situation called for it.
Here's a 2-0. Hard hit and fair. Down the line. Hits the fence. Digging for third is Barnes. They will hold him there on a double by Betts, and the Dodgers are in business in a blink here in the 6th.
.20 fastball. Mookie Betts all over it. And these are the bounces down the line you're going to get with those fences. That's why the active infielders have to be all over the place. And an easy double, and could have been a nightmarish tie scoring scenario for the Dodgers.
Adames got there. If he doesn't get there, slide and get to the ball, they may send Barnes. Betts is fighting back a smile as he comes over to fist bump his first base coach. And you know, here's the thing. I know, as you said, and we talked to Kevin Cash about this. This was his biggest worry, Snell having more in the tank. I don't think anybody saw 5 1/3, no runs, 2 singles, 9 strikeouts, no walks. And you said he was a tough matchup for Betts. He struck out Betts twice. And now Seager will dig in, and that's another tough matchup for the Dodgers, but they have to face now Anderson instead of Snell.
You got a rhythm pitcher in rhythm in Snell. There was nothing that was going to change that unless you take him out, and you're hoping that your pitchers have that same rhythm that come in. Obviously that's not the case, and this is a tough situation. You've got Turner on deck. Personally, I would not pitch to Seager, and I would pitch to Turner with the bases loaded. 1/2 dozen the other and play for the double play. But they're going to try to pitch to Seager with the infield in.
Infield in and swung around to the right for Seager. Good pitch. Ken Rosenthal, your thoughts?
Joe, there's always a reason why managers make moves, and perhaps this was just as simple as 3rd time through the order. But it's difficult to understand, especially with the left-right situation they have. They could have gone through Muncy at least with Blake Snell.
Second and third. 1 out. And this one gets by Zunino. Tie game.
Slider, it went the wrong way, and when it goes the wrong way, The catcher cannot be in that position. He's anticipating that ball to break a typical slider break, and it didn't.
Now Seager, with any one of a number of things, can give the Dodgers their first lead of Game 6. Infield still in. Here's a play at the plate. Throw home too late. Dodgers lead. Betts scores. And just like that, the Dodgers are on top by 1 in the 6th. And just like that, Mookie Betts was ready to run and scored on that ground ball.
You can't have the normal defense in with Mookie Betts at third. This is not in enough. Mookie has shown you his ability to read, react, and go. That right there didn't even get an out. You're going to have to be, as a first baseman, jumping off that bag and getting towards home plate as the pitch is being made. He was flat-footed. And now Nick Anderson's got to keep it right here.
Still only 1 out as Seager reaches on the fielder's choice, gets the RBI. And Turner fouls it back, strike 1. I said it 10 times. It's not just the hitting of Seager and Betts. It's been the defense. It's been the base running. It's been being ready to take the extra base. And Kevin Cash has got to be sick with what's happened here after Snell came out just after that single by the number 9 hitter Barnes. A double by Betts. A wild pitch for a run that scored Barnes. And a fielder's choice off the bat of Seager that wasn't even hit 90 feet that puts LA on top for the first time tonight. And you know Snell is pleading his case in the dugout. Frustrated he was taken out.
Nope. Well, there's something about this game and the psyche of this game when hitters will tell you all you need to know about the dominance of another player. It doesn't always have to be body language, but they know that that pitcher on the mound has the edge that moment, in that given moment. And when he gets taken out of the game, you intuitively think, thank you, we now have a chance. And it certainly played its place right out here in this inning.
Turner hits one into left. Back at the wall. It is caught on the warning track as Turner just got under it. And a loud second out here in the 6th. And here comes Kevin Cash. Going to make another move. And Turner knew it. So with Max Muncy coming up, 2 runs in, the first Dodger lead of the night. Snell out of the ball game. Mookie Betts smiling. Another pitching change for Tampa Bay.
We'll be right back after this short break.
One of my favorite places in all of Israel, the beautiful Sea of Galilee. But right now there's an enormous level of tension here. Many of our Jewish friends are hurting. This is the land that God has given to the Jews. But the people of Israel now face attacks from 7 different fronts, including Iran. Since the massacres of October the 7th, Israel has been hard hit by more than 20,000 rockets and drones. People often ask me, what can I do to help? Well, I wholeheartedly recommend the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews.
With hundreds of homes ruined or destroyed, the fellowship is on the ground, bringing emergency food to the elderly in urgent need. In this 7 front wards, the fellowship's mission to help the weakest, those who have no safety net for basic food.
For years, I've seen firsthand how the fellowship powerfully touches hearts and lives when they learn that it's Christians in America who want to help them. Your emergency gift of $45 will help send hot meals and a food box to an elderly Jew who's relying on the fellowship for their next meal.
This kitchen is only a mile from the border with Hezbollah, and our volunteers are risking their lives every single day just to prepare the meals. It's because the fellowship is a Bible-believing ministry. We need our faithful TBN family to join with us now and in the very difficult months ahead.
It's time that God-fearing people stand with our Jewish friends, we have some hot food, and respond to God's calling on all our lives to bless his people Israel. Please call or go online now.
Welcome back to iShine Connect.
Mookie Betts made this happen. The one-out double to set it up, and then was ready to run on that ground ball by Seager. We'll show you another angle of it. His base running has been perfection in this postseason. Aaron Loop takes over, and Muncy takes a strike. Betts has stolen 6, but both he and Seager have been on their toes with anything in the dirt or on contact while they've been at third. Happened in the LCS, and it's happened again here in the World Series. They've put pressure on this defense the whole series as the count goes to 0-2.
Yeah, this is just a baseball 101 playing that most guys haven't perfected. Well, Mookie Betts in his speed, but his reaction time and understanding the combination of both, reading the bat and knowing that your talents are just that far superior than the rest, and he just didn't flinch.
0-2. Luke brings it. Muncy takes it. Tom Verducci weigh in on what we've seen here in the 6th.
Well, that play there with Mookie, remember in game 1 they did not hold him on at third base, and he scored on the contact play. Even held on, he scored. But going back to that decision to have Anderson pitch to Betts, Mookie slugged just .218 against lefties. That was the worst in the major leagues. He brought in a right-handed fastball pitcher who had given up runs in 6 consecutive appearances in the postseason. It was a very curious move because of the matchup and because of the way Blake Snell was pitching.
The line on Snell, 5 1/3, 1 run, 2 hits, no walks, 9 strikeouts. Here's a 2-2 now to Muncy. Full count to the most patient hitter we've seen in October, Max Muncy.
Well, let's also credit the bullpen for the Dodgers, which at times has been a little shaky this postseason. They kept this game at 1-0. And they've been equally as dominant as Blake Snell was for the Rays.
Runner goes on a ground ball to the right side, is second. Adames makes the play, and the Dodgers lead. This inning will be talked about for a long time. Pitching change happened. Snell came out. Anderson came in. Dodgers went to work. Back after this from your local Fox station.
We'll be right back after this short break.
We're standing here in the TBN Israel forest, just a few miles from Israel's northern border with Lebanon. And it's here that you, our viewers, our friends, helped us plant something powerful: hope. This forest exists because of your love and your commitment to rebuilding Israel.
Just months ago, this place was burnt. Hezbollah rockets and drones forced entire communities to evacuate. And look, now we're standing here in the rain in the summer.
What a blessing, huh?
What a blessing.
It's great. Together, we planted thousands of trees, a future rooted in love for the land of Israel.
To those who gave, those who prayed, who stood with us, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Every tree here is a message. Israel stands. We rebuild stronger than before.
Welcome back to iShine Connect.
Authentic caps, tees, jerseys, hoodies, and more. Get all your Rays and Dodgers gear and cheer on your team at home with the official source, MLBshop.com. From Gonsolin to Floro to Wood to Baez to Gonzalez. Now Brusdar Graterol, the flame-throwing right-hander, who deals high at 102 for ball one to Willy Adames. So if you're Tampa Bay, it's a one-run game. Now you're down. All the momentum is gone. You got to get something here. Try and turn the tide. Graterol was wild during his warm-ups, and he's run the count to 2-0 here with Adames.
Yeah, this is what the Rays have been made of all year. You just took a gut punch, and you can't let that affect you. And I'm sure that dugout is looking for that one player, that one moment, turn this game around.
Swinging on 2-0. And Adames is now 3 for 20 in this World Series. The Dodgers bullpen was good in Game 5. It's been great here tonight. And I could make the case that the two biggest outs the bullpen got in Game 5 were in the 8th inning by Victor Gonzalez, and he just left this ball game going an inning and a third, striking out 3. Here's a fly ball into left. Back to grab it is Pollock. And now 2 out, nobody on here in the 7th. Off the bat of Kiermaier, who's now 1 for 3. And before Zunino steps to the plate, a quick word from Lysol. I don't know if they're seeing something in the delivery of Graterol. You and I saw the same thing during the warm-ups. He was all over the place, and he went 2-0 on Adames. He's got 2 out, nobody on, and Zunino coming up, and Mark Pryor went out to visit.
Yeah, that can't be a scouting report. That has to be something that he wanted to make sure he remembered in his mechanics and what he was trying to do to locate his fastball.
Well, Zunino has hit big home runs this postseason and almost walked right into that as it rode inside ball 1. Julio Urias is starting to get loose, who's been lights out this postseason. Urias, by the way, coming off a start in Game 4 when he struck out 9 over 4 2/3. It was that crazy game that ended up 8-7 on the game-winning hit by Brett Phillips. 1-2 on Zunino. The big catcher is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. That's into left field, and the tying run is on with 2 out, and the first World Series hit for Mike Zunino.
See, I don't understand that pitch, but you just threw 2 fastballs completely by him, and he threw him a slider, which allowed the bat speed to catch up, and the slider was right there. You can see he still reached for it.
Well, now with the left-handed batter coming up, are we going to get another pitching change?
I would think so.
It sure looks like it. Roberts is not motioned to the bullpen yet, but you just, well, yeah, it's a second visit, so he's gone. A quick visit with 2 out, nobody on from Mark Pryor. And that means that this visit is the end of the night for Graterol. Urias coming in. Choi, the scheduled hitter, in the 7th. Brusdar Graterol is out after going 2/3 of an inning, allowing that 2-out hit. It was Zunino who got it. We have the new pitcher, Julio Urias, who started Game 4. That was on Saturday. Pinch runner is the guy who ended Game 4, Brett Phillips, with that base hit into right center field off Jansen. And the pinch hitter is Yandy Diaz, who swung the bat well in this series, batting for Ji-Man Choi.
And because of the rule, Dave Roberts is hoping this is the one batter he faces this inning, because the next batter on deck, of course, has caused all the problems.
That's a Rosarena. Strike one. This has been a game of a couple of quick hooks. Not talking about curveballs. Tying run at first. Phillips. Great speed. Strike two. Good swing by Diaz, but now he's set up.
Urias has a gift. His arm is a gift, but his pulse is a gift too. He doesn't get carried away for a young player in any situation that I have seen of so far. That is two combinations of why you can trust him in a lot of situations Dave Roberts has put him in.
Phillips gets a walking lead and draws a throw. Stole 6 bases, 6 out of 7. Started the season with Kansas City, and mentioned it after he won the game on Saturday when the deal was made at the trade deadline. Who knew he would find his way into World Series history as that misses up and away for a ball to Yandy Diaz.
Diaz has been really good with 2 strikes. One of the better hitters on the Rays with 2 strikes in the regular season and in the postseason. He's actually in the postseason been worse when he's been ahead in the count.
He's picked it up here in the World Series. 4 for 11, 7 for 35 overall, 7 for 36. Arias comes in and slams the door on the top of the 7th. That kid is something. Gratterall loved it. Dodger fans loved it. Time to stretch. Los Angeles up by 1.
We'll be right back after this short break.
Like 10 years ago, I would have said my favorite rom-com probably would have been Walking on
I am so sorry. I did not see you there. I'm so sorry.
Met him at a party, accidentally brushed his body on the way to get a drink at the bar. I couldn't wait till later, talking in the elevator, then we're kissing in the back of the car. That voice in my head says to slow down.
Welcome back to iShine Connect.
Brain trust for the Dodgers, talking it over as the Dodger hitters ready to come up in the bottom of the 7th inning. LA on top by 1, and Pete Fairbanks, a hard-throwing right-hander, is the 4th pitcher of the night for Tampa Bay. First up, Will Smith. Yandy Diaz stays in the game at first. New catcher is Perez, and that's fouled back and out of play after the pinch hitter and the pinch runner. There's Perez. And Yandy Diaz, who just struck out, looking to end the top of this inning. Fairbanks rides one up and in on Smith, who's 0 for 2.
Well, you're right, Joe, about if the outcome stays the way it is. It'll be talked about for quite some time. And there's numbers to back it up. But those numbers over a course of 162 games have some value when you're going 30, 32 starts. But each individual start in the postseason.
This one is down into the corner. Hooking and fair off the wall, and Smith has a ringing leadoff double in the 7th.
Each postseason start doesn't have the same meaning as the numbers you accumulate over 162. And Smith finally getting on board here with some struggling bats, but a big double to lead off the 8th. So close to a homer.
Fourth hit of this World Series for the young catcher, DHing tonight. The batter is Bellinger.
The one thing these Rays bullpen, which was, again, you're going to, course of the regular season, you're not playing your regular season games kind of like the postseason they have so far, and these guys have been in so many games. A deep 7-game series, a 5-game series with the Yankees, 7-game series with the Astros, and now a 6-game series with the Dodgers. You're asking these guys to be as good as they were in the regular season without being used as much as they're being used in this condensed playoffs. They would never use these guys in a regular season like they're using them in the playoffs. So you would think there would be some wear and tear and just not as sharp. You can tell they haven't been as sharp, and the Dodgers have taken advantage of it.
1 ball, 1 strike. Runner at second, nobody out. Bellinger. But it just seems, and this is not an indictment on today's game, but even in this game tonight, managers are looking for any reason to get a guy out of the game.
Yes.
Instead of looking for the reasons to keep a guy in the game.
Correct. Because the numbers are dictating it.
Two-1. Skied into left. A Rosarena late break, and now out to make the play is Wendell. Runner at second, 1 out. Bellinger 0 for 3, did not advance the runner. We'll give you a quick word from T-Mobile, the leader in 5G coverage.
I mean, the topic of the game is third time through the lineup. What's the OPS? Well, the OPS is going to be higher. You know why it's going to be higher? Because you're not training guys to go through the lineup 3 times. So there's the answer, and the discussion can't be second guessed. That's in the regular season. Postseason, still don't buy that theory yet.
Taylor with a runner at second, 1 out. Dodgers have 4 hits in the ball game. They've been out hit 5-4. Jock Peterson on deck. We knew it was a matter of time with A.J. Pollock's spot due up after Taylor. 1-0 pitch. High fly ball to right, slicing foul. 1-1.
This is something that's changed too. You get a chance to see this in real time, and believe it or not, that's what a lot of pitching coaches will even go off of, the numbers of what those two categories say about a pitch.
Well, the Dodger hitters told you all you need to know about the pitching of Blake Snell.
Exactly.
You can throw all the numbers in the garbage. 5 1/3 innings, 1 run. He gave up a 1-out single and he gets yanked. He had struck out 9. He had handled the top of the order. It had one of the highest OPSs in World Series history. The first 4 hitters were a combined 0 for 8 with 7 strikeouts. And that was the part of the order where the game was and the inning was in the 6th. Pitching change happened. A double by Betts. A wild pitch in there, and then a fielder's choice hit into by Seager that put the Dodgers on top with good base running by Mookie Betts. Taylor strikes out. The put out down at first, 2 away.
I'm not so sure I would pitch to Jock Peterson right here.
He pinch hits for Pollock. With the number 9 hitter, Austin Barnes, who's not coming out of this game, on deck. So here comes a visit from Kyle Snyder, the pitching coach.
Get Eddie stand here with the bat. Eddie, come here.
So back to the dugout is the pitching coach, Kyle Snyder. Waiting at the plate is Jock Peterson. And we'll see what the strategy is with first base open. And the right-handed hitting Austin Barnes, who started the 2-run rally last inning, on deck. They'll go after Peterson, I would imagine, carefully. Hit a home run in game 5. He's 4 for 10 in this World Series.
You better not see many fastballs.
Leadoff double. Smith is out there with 2 out. Nope. That was called low for ball 1.
That was a good breaking ball right there. Peterson's been unbelievable in the postseason. There's no rhyme or reason to determine that you were going to get this kind of success out of him based on his regular season. But the Dodgers sure are glad.
Here's a 1-0.
That's got to put him on now. You can't let a 2-0 pitch. You can't get back in the count with Peterson.
And they're going to walk it. Take their chances with Austin Barnes. That, by the way, is the first walk, albeit an intentional one, handed to the Dodgers tonight by Rays pitching. And the wide-eyed, young, hard-throwing right-hander will deal with Barnes. Again, his hit chased Blake Snell. Might be an entirely different conversation if not for that one-out hit last inning. That's out of play. Strike one. Said this the other night. Fairbanks pitching in the ballpark that he might have called home. Traded last year from the Rangers organization for an infielder, Nick Solak. And he can really dial it up. 6-3, 2.7 ERA in 27 games this year. Started twice. Struck out 39 in 26 2/3 innings. He's been good this postseason. Doesn't get the call there at 99 and the count 1-1.
Barnes has had a great postseason, and he's really played himself into more at bats. You know, responsible for catching Kershaw pretty much, and that's it. Well, postseason, he's hitting .318 coming into this game.
And they've added Walker Buehler to his list also now. And tonight, I mean, he's in there with Will Smith DHing. I think they, at this point, late in the World Series, they want his presence behind home plate.
Yeah.
The other catcher's the DH. He's out at second base, and Barnes trying to bring him home. That's strike two.
He didn't get the one in the corner. He got the one that you don't really want to throw, but also hard to hit.
Nope. Good pitch and a good take by Barnes. 2-2.
Well, we've mentioned it till we're blue in the face about how good 2 outs, 2 strikes the Dodgers have been. This will be a backbreaker if they're able to squeeze another run here in what has been hard to score runs in this kind of game.
59 of the 100 runs scored by the Dodgers this postseason have come with 2 out.
Smith's doing his part at second. He's getting a huge secondary lead because he can go on any attempt to swing the bat. He's going to go. 2 outs.
Pretty good at bat here by Barnes.
See, the reason Barnes is kind of a tough guy to pitch to, he's not one that's concerned about making a big swing, right? He's not trying to take the velocity and catch up to it with a bigger swing. He's trying to be as quick as he can to the fastball, fight it off, maybe get a breaking ball that hangs in the middle of the plate, and then that does him that gives him a better chance for a successful hit.
The fly ball into shallow right. Out goes the second baseman, and Lau has it to end the inning. Good job by Fairbanks to get around the leadoff double by Will Smith. The big man, Randy Arozarena, will lead it off in the 8th for the Rays, down 1.
We'll be right back after this short break.
Hi, friends. As the world begins to turn its back on Israel, just as the Bible foretold, you need to be prepared. That means turning to physical gold and silver for added financial security. I've discovered that you can place gold and silver in your IRA, 401k, or other qualified retirement account, completely tax and penalty free. Preserve Gold is the company that I trust, and they're giving away a free wealth protection guide to TBN viewers that explains everything. So give them a call right now.
Call now, 866-301-3138 for your free information kit to learn how you can put physical gold and silver into your IRA or 401k, and how you can even purchase precious metals for delivery direct to your home. Preserve Gold has hundreds of 5-star reviews and millions of dollars in trusted transactions. And you can get up to $15,000 in free gold and silver with a qualified purchase. Just call 866-301-3138 or text Rosenberg to 50505.
Welcome back to iShine Connect.
Tonight's aerial coverage is brought to you by Camping World. What a game. 2-1, 8th inning. And Randy Arozarena is at the plate. He's homered tonight, the only Rays run. Couple of defensive changes. Dodgers put on their typical change defensively with Taylor moving to left, Kike Hernandez at second, but Edwin Rios has taken over at third base. We're trying to find out if something happened with Turner as that misses inside. 2-0. So Rios, been a while since we've seen him in the field, and Turner's played a great third base. So we'll find out if something indeed happened to him. Meanwhile, the 2-0 pitch, Arozarena takes a strike from Urias. Last time Rios played in the field was in the NLCS Game 3. He started that ball game, and Turner was the DH. Here's one into right center. Bellinger, great jump, one away. What a play. Boy, he's had some jumps out in center, and that was not as easy as Cody Bellinger made that look. One down in the 8th.
No, he's been doing this all series, all postseason. And you can make the claim the one time he wasn't in center was the crazy game that the Dodgers ended up losing. He's been unreal this postseason in center.
Hunter Renfroe comes off the bench to bat for Austin Meadows, who was 1 for 3. Looked like a changeup. Here is Rios, fresh into the game, throws a strike, 2 out. Only 5 pitches this inning so far for Urias, and 9 as he's picked up 3 outs, and he's got 2 out, nobody on here in the 8th. Remember, he pitched the last 3 innings in a 1-run ball game, 4-3 in the NLCS Game 7 to close it down. And with question marks at the back end of their bullpen, the Dodgers very well could do it again. Oh, that's a ball to Brandon Lau. From the young left-hander. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Just comes out smooth, and the hitter can't see it, especially left on left. I mentioned those 3 home runs Brandon Lau hit. They were all to left center, left field.
Can you imagine Julio Urias' father Carlos watching in Mexico? His first coach hanging on with every pitch here tonight with his 24-year-old in the 8th inning of Game 6, with the Dodgers trying to end the World Series and win their first championship in 32 years. Good swing by Lau, but couldn't catch up. Still 1-2. strikeout. And the Dodgers are 3 defensive outs away from a World Series title. They bat in the 8th, leading by 1.
We'll be right back after this short break.
Live from New York, it's Saturday night!
Introducing the best of Farley and Farrell. Woo! The ultimate double shot of comedy from Time Life Video.
Oh my God, it was hot!
All the gut-busting moments from SNL's Heavyweights.
Lay off me, I'm starving! We've got a great show lined up for you.
You'll get the best of Chris Farley and the best of Will Ferrell. That's 2 VHS or DVDs bursting with over 50 hilarious routines, all for only $29.99. But that's not all.
Hey, Saddam. Monica, you never call me anymore.
Call right now with your credit card order and you'll get an incredible bonus volume. The best of Adam Sandler. You'll get all 3 jam-packed DVDs or VHS, and you still pay only $29.99.
Would you? Definitely. You're such a whore. I know.
It's all your favorite Farley.
Now, you kids are probably asking yourselves, hey, man, how can we get back on the right track?
It's all the funniest Farrell.
My name is Greg. I did drugs once. I am a Spartan. So check me out.
Plus, all the silliest Sandler.
Give me the candy.
You'll get the biggest laughs from the biggest stars, plus DVD bonuses, including rehearsal outtakes you didn't see live. You won't find this offer anywhere else, so call now with your credit card order to get all the best of Farley, Ferrell, and Sandler. That's over 3 hours of SNL's best on 3 DVD or VHS for only $29.99.
Call 1-800-467-4SNL with your credit card to get the best of Chris Farley, Will Ferrell, and Adam Sandler on DVD or VHS for only $29.99 plus shipping and handling. That's 1-800-467-4SNL to get all 3 volumes or order online at timelife.com.
Welcome back to iShine Connect.
Our dynamic plays of the game brought to you by Hankook Tire. The double hit by Mookie Betts. And after a run scored to tie it on a wild pitch, Mookie was ready to fly and scored on the fielder's choice hit into by Corey Seager. And here he is leading off the 8th inning for the Dodgers against Fairbanks. Takes a strike.
So that moment, and a moment that many people might forget. Floro coming in with first and second, 2 outs to face a Rosarena. And what seemed like early in the game, he got him out.
That's out of play, and he started a procession out of the pen. Alex Wood, 2 perfect innings with 3 strikeouts. Baez, 2/3, 1 hit. And so far, that's one of just 2 hits against this Dodger bullpen. Gratterall gave up a 2-out hit, and Arias has faced 4, retired 4. Rays hitters have struck out 14 times in the ballgame. Here's the 0-2 to Betts. High fly ball left center. Back at the wall. It is gone. Betts. Has made it 3-1. Dodgers here in the 8th inning. Mookie with a blast into left center field. Wow.
During the year, he hit over 100 points higher, right-handed versus left-handed. 16 home runs off of right-handers. Didn't hit a home run against a left-hander. Tom talked about it earlier, about what his slugging percentage, and wow, is that a timely home run for the Dodgers.
It gives a little breathing room to Urias, who is clearly going back out there. There are a lot of Dodger fans in attendance tonight, and they are feeling it now. 1 to Corey Seager.
And I will say this, Joe, in fairness, there's going to be a lot of talk about the move, no doubt, for the Rays, but it is really difficult to win a game 1-0. The Rays offense has been held down in check for most of this series. And you got to give the Dodgers credit in their bullpen. It was a short outing by Gonsolin.
1 ball, 1 strike on Seager, and for a manager in Dave Roberts, who's in his 5th year, managing in his 3rd World Series, he has showed a masterful touch, especially in games 5 and 6, with using those guys out of the pen. And now his team needs 3 defensive outs, and he's got the electrifying Julio Urias in the ball game to get him, to give the Dodgers their first championship in 32 years.
And you know what? I could probably say 3 years ago, maybe this scenario doesn't play out. And they used moves 3 years ago that would have been by the book that didn't work out. And I think Dave has, along with his staff, recognized a couple things as the postseason's gone on to trust a guy like Urias to finish a game.
There isn't anybody that has met Dave Roberts that doesn't love his company. He is one of the nicest people that you can come across in Major League Baseball. He was a scrappy player. He stole that big base in Game 4, the 2004 ALCS for Boston on their way to a championship. Made a lot of moves. Some have worked, some certainly have not over these years in the postseason. But as I said about Kevin Cash, Dave Roberts is a big reason why the Dodgers are here, why they lead by a game, and why they lead Game 6 by 2 with the job he's done with his pen. "3-2 to Seager" is high, and a walk with nobody out. This ball was scorched.
Yeah, breaking ball, middle.
He knew it.
We did a game earlier in the year with Dave Roberts. Something he said when we got a chance to talk to him that totally makes sense now. He said in the beginning of the year, with all that's going on in the world, all that's going on with the adjustments players had to make, he told his players, I don't want to hear anybody complain. Don't complain. We want everybody pulling in the right direction. We've got a really good team. And that positive attitude that he has, that you're talking about, has meant a lot in this year of all years because of the strangeness to it and the adjustments everyone has had to make.
And everybody's talked about continuity getting through 2020 and the pandemic, and there's plenty of continuity, not just with Dave Roberts and this staff, but with this lineup and the pitching staff. Here's Kike Hernandez, his first at bat, pulls back from a ball upstairs. Hernandez hitting in the number 3 spot. Still no word on if something happened injury-wise to Justin Turner, but this would be his spot. Taken out of the ball game in the top of this frame.
More than likely the last hitter that Fairbanks will face.
Here is an 0-1 pitch. Foul back here. Kyle Yarbrough is getting ready with Muncy, the next man to the plate. Oh, 2. Yarbrough started in Game 4 on Saturday. Went 3 1/3. 2 runs on 5 hits. Leadoff home run by Betts. It's a 3-1 ball game. Runner at first. Nobody out after the walk. Kike Hernandez strikes out. And here comes Kevin Cash with 1 on, 1 out. Muncy coming up. Yarbrough coming in to pitch here in the 8th inning of Game 6. Our good hands play the game. We're going to hand it to the relief corps of the Dodgers tonight. From Floro to Wood, Baez, Victor Gonzalez with an inning and a third, 3 strikeouts. Gratterall got 2 outs. And now it's Julio Urias who took over in the 7th. He's retired all 4 hitters he's faced. And that bullpen, after the Rays got a run in the 1st inning, Gonsolin did well to get out of further damage in the 1st. The bullpen has held the Dodgers in it. Now it's 3-1 LA as Ryan Yarbrough takes over with 1 on, 1 out in the 8th. Max Muncy 0 for 3.
Max Muncy's been great in the World Series, along with Seager and Turner, really. I just look at our score sheet and I go, wow. Mookie Betts struck out twice, then he gets a double and a homer. Corey Seager struck out twice. He gets that fielder's choice game-winning, to this point, RBI and a walk. That's the difference.
Really, for the most part, somehow, some way, those guys have found their way into it. Might be 2. Lau starts it, and it is turned by Wendell to end the 8th. A run in the frame on the home run by Mookie Betts. His 2nd of the World Series. Rays down to their final 3 outs, trailing now by 2.
We'll be right back after this short break.
The Better Together community has helped me in my faith walk. You're the one that encourages me to walk by faith. And that has been one of the most beautiful things in my life. It's been a joining of my friends that have helped echo this beautiful voice of hope and grace and encouragement around the world. So my sweet mother-in-law, Jane Crouch, looked at me one day and she said, Lori Michelle, she said, it's time for you to do something for the women. So I really took that to heart. But my husband also took it to heart. He said, I think that would really bless women all over the world. And God started gathering the people. And so Better Together just took shape, and we started shooting in April of 2019. Little did we know that it was just before this global pandemic that Better Together voices were on the air. And I just believe that the next 1,000 episodes, they will keep up with the times of what our world needs, bringing his kingdom down here to earth. And I want you to be able to get what God has for you, because we get to grow together. We get to worship together. We get to be a part of each other's lives. And I pray that it has ministered to you in a beautiful way.
Welcome back to iShine Connect.
Stay tuned after the game. If it ends here tonight, the Chevrolet MVP trophy presentation. Rays want to push that off for one more day. But they've got to get a base runner to have a chance here in the 9th inning. Margot, Wendell, and Adames against Julio Urias. Who fires a strike.
Yeah, that's all he's been doing. He has been in command of the strike zone. He's fearless. And like I said, you got to have a slow heartbeat. It's not like he's done this a ton of times. He does have some saves.
1-1 outside, ball and a strike.
But now the Rays have to get somebody on to make at least the nerves a little unsettled, to bring the tying run to the plate. I mean, since the first, it hasn't been, the Rays have had 0 chances for the most part.
That's strike 2. And we'll give you a quick word from Gatorade.
That was quick.
No lies. Not in Game 6 of the World Series. With the Dodgers leading 3-1. Here comes a 1-2 to Margot. It'll pop up into right. Mookie Betts is there. And the first-year Dodger has out number 1.
Now, what you can't do here, Joe, and I'm sure he's not, you can't count outs. When you've been on the stage as many times as the Dodgers have, and as close as they've come, you can't count outs. This is the only batter you think matters, and then you go from there.
And that batter is Mike Brasso off the bench. This game has already tied the record for strikeouts in a 9-inning game, if that's what it is. In the end, 25 strikeouts we've seen here tonight by these two teams. Brasso has swung the bat very well this postseason. Well, takes the ball. He is a tough at bat, and if you don't believe me, ask Aroldis Chapman.
Yeah, it's the bat of his life. Phillips had the moment of his life. Now the Rays are hoping they have one more moment to keep this series going. So much horsepower in the bullpen that they have.
Good rip.
But wouldn't it be a little ironic that ended up costing them in the end?
Rays couldn't wait to get to their bullpen. 1-run charge to the starter Blake Snell, who was outstanding, and 1 to Nick Anderson, who came in, allowed a double to Mookie Betts, and the wheels started turning. 1-1 to Brasso. Strike 2. One-two pitch is high and tight.
Nope. What a great take. After seeing velocity and then spinning a breaking ball up there, this would have been real easy to come out of your shoes right here, but a great take.
Brasso gives nothing away. Undrafted, trying to give the Rays a chance. Down by 2. Urias got him looking, 2 out. Dodger fans to their feet. Urias, calm, cool, and collected, has retired all 6 he's faced.
2 best teams in baseball meet in the most unpredictable format that we've seen in a long time. One of these teams will have won a great World Series.
Strike 1 on Willy Adames. I don't think I've ever done a Major League Baseball game and not thought of my dad, but it's impossible to not think of the 92-year-old Vin Scully, the greatest to ever do it. Started with the Dodgers in 1950, retired 4 years ago. That is strike 2. 67 years of his life he poured into the Dodger organization, and you know he's watching and rooting. Ownership, Andrew Friedman, Dave Roberts. That's strike 3. Dodgers have won it all in 2020. John, the Dodgers just showed too many ways that they can beat you in this series. Power, speed, defense, clutch hitting, big-time pitching. Dave Roberts pulling the strings and making right call after right call out of the bullpen. And over the last 32 years, the Dodgers have knocked at the door for this a few times. This year, they kicked it in.
You know, it's amazing. They were down 3-1 to the Braves. They played flawless baseball from that point on, and almost flawless baseball in the World Series. This is a complete team, a team that had a lot of hurdles and a ton of pressure on them. These are two different teams got here two different ways. Two great teams representing their cities. The Dodgers had the weight of the world on them, and I'm telling you right now, there is a relief that you cannot understand until you've been there, done that, and they have answered a lot of those questions.
And how can you not focus on Batman, Dave Roberts, and Clayton Kershaw in the middle of that celebration? Austin Barnes wisely tucks that ball into his back pocket. And there, the future Hall of Famers got a ring.
This was, I mean, the pitchers had a field day today. But you feel for Blake Snell. He pitched the game of his life, but the Dodgers just too much in the end.
And for the Rays, they're not going anywhere. We'll see them in the postseason for years to come, but this year belongs to the Dodgers as they win their 7th championship in franchise history. They won 1 in Brooklyn. And now they've got their 6th since moving to Los Angeles in 1958. Let's go down to the field and check in with Tom Verducci.
Thanks, Joe. Mookie Betts, you signed here for 12 years with a team that had not won in 32 years. When did you believe that this would be the year, your first year in LA?
I mean, from day one, you know, these guys have been in the postseason so many times, and I just came to be a part of it, and I'm just happy I can contribute.
In the 6th inning, Blake Snell is taken out of the game. He had gotten you twice. Nick Anderson came in. Tell me about that change the Rays made for that at bat.
I mean, I'm not exactly sure why. I'm not going to ask any questions, but he was pitching a great game. Barnesy let off with a hit, I think, right there, and we had a chance to do something, but I made a pitching change, and it seems like that's all we needed.
And finally, you, in the clincher in 2018 World Series, you hit a home run. You did it again tonight. How good did that feel?
It felt amazing. I mean, I had an 0 for yesterday, and we're up 2-1 right there. We need to scratch across another run. You know, that way we're not one swing of the bat away, and I did, and Julio did his thing.
Congratulations. Enjoy it.
Thank you.
Now here's Ken Rosenthal.
Thanks, Tom. Austin, I saw you put the ball in your pocket. What was it like to catch the final out of the Dodgers' first World Series title since 1988?
Man, it is surreal. We worked so hard, man. We've had a so many times. This group works so hard, and it's hard to explain. It's a ton of emotion.
Did you have any idea when you got that single with 1 out in the 6th that you were chasing Blake Snell?
I knew all postseason long I had Mookie and Seager behind me. Usually when you get on base for those guys, good things happen. And we were scratching and clawing, man. They got out to an early lead, but we kept grinding.
Your bullpen tonight, Austin. Floro, Wood, Baez, Gonzalez, and finally Urias. What were they doing to be so successful?
It was just, they made their pitches, just executed. They let it get to them. They let the moment get to them. They got out to the first 2 innings were a grind for us. We were a little bit on our heels the whole game for the first part of the game, and those guys kept it in. Those guys won us that game.
Austin, congratulations. Thanks very much. Joe, back to you.
Kenny, thank you. 5 straight years the Dodgers won the Rookie of the Year award. called the Jackie Robinson Award, fittingly. Karros, Piazza, Mondesi, Nomo, Hollingsworth. All those players have come and gone in Dodger uniforms without a title. And you look at the droughts. And for a franchise like the Dodgers, they wanted no part of being on this list. 32 years. That's how long it had been since the days of Oral Hershiser and Tommy Lasorda and all those Dodger greats. Now this team joins them as world champions for the Los Angeles Dodgers. It was an amazing ride through October. 3-1 is the final tonight. And you see Dave Roberts say, "I'm so happy for you." Clayton Kershaw's got a ring just miles from where he grew up. What a World Series. What a year it has been for all. And the Dodgers are on top. Studio show on the other side of the break.
We'll be right back after this short break.
Start spreading the news. The team of the century is also the team of the decade.
World champions.
Now you can celebrate the New York Yankees' 25th World Championship with Sports Illustrated's exclusive World Series Championship package. You'll get the official Major League Baseball World Series video and this hardbound collector's edition of Sports Illustrated with expanded World Series coverage, both free with your paid subscription. Use your credit card, and you'll also get this wool blend, fully embroidered 1999 Yankees World Championship commemorative cap free. Lead off with your official 1999 World Series video honoring a team for the ages. You'll see it all. The Yanks' complete domination of Texas and their successful battle in Beantown. Then relive all the moments that made the '99 Fall Classic unforgettable. The great pitching and heroic hitting from Game 1's 8th-inning comeback in Atlanta to the final out in the Bronx, the Yanks' second straight World Championship. Call now and you'll also get a true collector's dream, this special edition Sports Illustrated issue that's hardbound, gold-lettered, and individually numbered. This exclusive collectible magnificently captures all the excitement of the Yankees' historic World Series win with added coverage of the Fall Classic you'll only get right here. Call now to get your World Series Championship package free when you order 54 issues of Sports Illustrated for only $1.47 an issue. Save 50% off the cover price. Use your credit card and you'll also get another piece of history. This 1999 Yankees World Championship commemorative cap. Free. Don't miss this one-of-a-kind World Series Championship package saluting a one-of-a-kind baseball team. Celebrate the legendary New York Yankees' 25th World Championship with Sports Illustrated. Get into it.
Welcome back to iShine Connect.
Welcome to the Tubi postgame show. Tubi, free movies and TV. The Dodgers, World Series champs for the first time since 1988. What a feeling it is for Corey Seager and the boys. A lot of perseverance to get back there for another time and win it. That's what they did tonight. Plenty of reaction in the trophy coming up in mere moments. But we start this show with some breaking news. After the completion of the game tonight, we were informed by Major League Baseball that Justin Turner received a positive COVID test. That's why he was removed from the game. We have no other details at this time. We'll continue, though, to report on this developing story. Obviously, we hope Turner's okay and that everyone else is okay that's been around Turner. But there you go. Let's go back to the field and take a look at the reaction from these Dodgers. Hugs around, smiles around. It's been a long time. Since 1988, certainly, Alex, they've been here before now, and the third time for them in the big show was the charm.
I mean, there's so much to like about this Dodger team. I mean, you saw the emotion from Clayton Kershaw. But for me, it's the big three. Dave Roberts in his 5th year as a manager. You saw the maturity. You saw the honesty. I spoke to him yesterday. He was fantastic. Clayton Kershaw, obviously the story. Nobody's pitched more innings in the postseason without a world championship. Well, you can't say that about him. And then the Mookie man. The effect of Mookie Betts and what he's meant to this franchise is like magic to the Lakers, the Mookie man.
All right, it seems like it's about time to hand out the Commissioner's Trophy. Let's go back to Arlington. We send it to Tom Verducci.
Thank you, Kevin. Los Angeles and Dodger fans, you've waited 32 years to hear these words. The Los Angeles Dodgers are World Series champions. It was an extraordinary season, and the Dodgers are an extraordinary champion. 13 postseason wins, a month in the bubble, the best record in baseball, a deserving champion. As I'm sure next to me, the Commissioner of Baseball, Rob Manfred, would agree. I'd like to introduce others on this podium. Owner Mark Walter.
Hey, Mark.
President and CEO Stan Kasten. President of Baseball Operations Andrew Friedman. Manager Dave Roberts. Let me start with the Commissioner of Baseball, Rob Manfred.
2020 is going to be remembered Thank you. 2020 is going to be remembered as a baseball season like no other. Our clubs, and especially our players, were presented with an array of unique challenges. The Los Angeles Dodgers met every one of those challenges bravely. This is truly a team of champions. Mark, it's my distinct pleasure to present to you the Commissioner's Trophy as a symbol of your 2020 World Series victory.
Mark Walter, your ownership group closed the sale of the Dodgers May of 2012. You've delivered division titles. Now you've delivered a world championship. Tell me what this means to Los Angeles and the franchise.
Thank you. First, I think we should congratulate the Tampa Bay Rays on an incredible season and a hard-fought series. This victory is for our fans. Thank you, Los Angeles. Thank you, Dodger fans everywhere. 2020 has been a year of so much hardship for so many people that this trophy is for you, the greatest fans in all of baseball. To Commissioner Manfred and the staff at MLB and the players and the Players Union for fighting this incredible hardship we've had this year and getting a season on the field and finished. To Dave Roberts and Mr. Friedman, you're the best in the world. Thank you for leading this team through this strange and historic season. This championship is a testament to your leadership, your grit, and your determination. It's been 32 long years since the Dodgers last celebrated a World Series champions. And while our schedule was abbreviated, this pandemic year has felt longer than any other. And there were times when it looked like we were headed for disappointment yet again. These players had their backs against the wall, but they stuck together and never gave up. They showed what can be accomplished when we believe in each other and when we believe in that dream. 32 years ago, when Kirk Gibson hit that walk-off home run in Game 1 of the World Series, Vin Scully said, in a year that has been so improbable, the impossible has happened. We have a rich history, but no other team has faced the impossible like a year like this. Clayton, Corey, Mookie, Cody, Kike, JT, Jock, Max, Kenley, and everyone on the roster, each and every one of you, up and down, have truly made history. All of us have been worried about the health and safety of our loved ones. All of us have been called on to heal divides and address the inequality that has torn our communities apart for too long. Yet Dodger fans still rallied to put the wind in our sails and carry us to tonight. This is more than just a trophy. This championship is a tribute to resilience of this organization the people of Los Angeles, and the people of the United States of America. Dodger fans, we miss you. We love you. Thank you for sticking by us, for supporting us, and allowing us to share this moment with you. And to everyone watching and to everyone worried about the future, I hope this team offers a symbol of how we can forge ahead by uniting and having each other's backs, by never giving up, and always remembering that together we can overcome whatever's in our way. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Thank you, Mark Walter. Andrew Friedman, President of Baseball Operations. 28-man roster, but it takes an organization to win. What was it about this group that enabled it to take home that trophy?
We're bringing the trophy home. It's been too long. To our incredible fans, thank you for all the support. We're sorry it took us this long. Thank you for your patience, but it's coming home where it belongs. We are the champions.
Thank you.
It's an incredible organizational achievement. The number of fingerprints that are all over the success of this roster from all the different departments, from our pro scouting, our player development group, our international scouting, our player procurement, our training staff, everybody had a hand in this. We've come close in years past and come up just short, and I think it shows the resolve of this entire group to keep plowing forward and to bring home the ultimate prize. Thank you.
Dave Roberts, 5 years with this team. It's been a grind. I know it's been an emotional road for you to get here. Tell me what this championship means to you, to be the manager for this group of guys.
This is our year. We said it. This is our year. Everyone in this ballpark wearing Dodger blue, everyone all over the world wearing Dodger blue, never wavered. This is our year. And these players right here showed what toughness is all about. Resiliency. I've never been around a group that's closer, that's tougher, that I love more. And for guys like Clayton, I couldn't be happier for you, Kirsch. Couldn't be happier. You want to talk about a narrative? How about being a champion? He's a champion forever. Kenley Jansen, what you've done, thank you. Justin Turner, thank you. Rick Honeycutt is not here, thank you. Ross Stripling, who's not here, thank you. And to every single one of you guys, I love you so much for all your work, your care, your unselfishness. Congratulations, you guys.
32 years of waiting are over. Congratulations to the 2020 World Series champion, Los Angeles Dodgers. Back to you, Kevin.
Well, Vin Scully, how about that? It's only right for the great Vin Scully to tweet, what a year, what a season, what a team. Congratulations to the Dodgers since 1988, and it finally happened in 2020. We've got the MVP presentation. Back to Arlington we go. After this, the Dodgers, world champions.
We'll be right back after this short break.
You waited a lifetime for this moment. Now it's time to celebrate. The official collection. The Oklahoma City Thunder NBA champions. Available now at NBA Store. A Fanatics experience.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
Welcome back to iShine Connect.
The Dodgers are world champions once again. A 3-1 win in Game 6, and they take home the trophy. We've seen that. Now time for the MVP. Back to Arlington and Tom Verducci.
Thanks, Kevin. That's right. It's time to present the Willie Mays World Series Most Valuable Player Award presented by Chevrolet. And once again, to present that honor, the Commissioner of Baseball, Rob Manfred.
Corey, you thrilled our fans throughout the postseason with a great performance. You led the Dodgers to a World Series victory, and it's my pleasure to recognize your great play with the Willie Mays Most Valuable Player Award presented by Chevrolet.
Core of 10 players, you're part of them, that's been here for all 3 World Series the last 4 years. Tell me what it means to you and this team to finish it off this year.
Man, this was just awesome. What this team's accomplished this year throughout the regular season, grinding through every series, we got down 3-1, we came all the way back, just the resilience, the effort, the energy, everything that this team's done this year, man, it's just been fun to be a part of.
What do you think of your new ride? What do you think of your new ride?
Yeah, that's actually what she wanted for her wedding present, so there you go.
Corey, congratulations to you and the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Thank you. Thank you.
Commissioner Rob Manfred, I know that Justin Turner came out of this game after a positive test was revealed. You had about almost 2 months without a positive test. Describe to me how that happened today and the success of getting through this season.
Well, it's a bittersweet night for us. We're glad to be done. I do think it's a great accomplishment for our players to get this season completed, but obviously we're concerned when any of our players test positive. We learned during the game that Justin was a positive. He was immediately isolated to prevent spread.
Commissioner, thank you very much.
Thanks, Tom.
Back to you, Kevin.
Tom, great job. Thanks very much. Obviously, it's 2020, right? I mean, it's we feel for Justin Turner. Hope he's okay. He's one of the classiest dudes there is, and a kid who grew up Dodgers fan in Long Beach, right? So, Justin, get better. But the Dodgers won the World Series, and try and focus on the good with that here, Frank. And look, it's a team that they've been here before. They won 8 straight divisions. Took them a few World Series to get here. There's a lot to be said about intestinal fortitude when you keep getting back on the horse and getting back to this point and finally break through.
You got to love this team. We all felt this team would eventually win the World Series. They were that good. I mean, pitching, defense, hitting, they had it all. And Tampa gave them one heck of a fight to get that trophy, but they deserve this. No one is second-guessing here talking about how the Dodgers won the World Series. We were all expected. This is the first time that I can remember over the last 20 years that I thought a team that would easily win a World Series within a 60-game sprint. They didn't let us down at all throughout this whole process. They were the best team throughout the 60-game sprint and throughout the playoffs.
As a big fan of basketball, I remember when I first heard about Magic join the Dodgers, right away a light came to my head, and I was like, man, this might be the time for the Dodgers to start winning championship. And it's because when you add any winner at any other sport to any franchise, it seems like you are in something that is going to be a plus. And Magic support throughout the years, the front office, I'm not surprised about what I'm seeing happening right now.
It feels great, and I know we're going to talk about it all night, but I mean, in big, you just got to think about how sweet it feels. It's much better. I can speak personally. When you go and fail and fail and fail, and then you win, it feels incredible.
Yeah, and by the way, you hear from Dave Roberts there. How classy is he mentioning the guys that helped along the way but aren't there right now? That shows you all what Dave Roberts is about. And the Dodgers get it done. 3-1 win in game number 6. World champions for the first time in 32 years. Boy, how do you think these guys are feeling right now? Kershaw finally over the mountain. Dave Roberts, no more criticisms for Dave. We'll hear from Cody Bellinger when we come back. Dodgers win the World Series. Boys, that feel good for Dodger fans to hear. It's been a long time. This team has been great for years now, but tonight they get over the mountain, a 3-1 win in Game 6, and back on top as World Series champs. We go back to Arlington right now when we say hello to Cody Bellinger, who's on the field. Cody, congratulations, World Series champion. I just feel good to say that to you. How does it feel to hear?
Unbelievable, man. It's been a long... we've been through a lot, and we've had a lot of the core group together, and this feels so good, man. Just hugging everyone at the end of this. It's literally the best feeling in the whole world.
Cody, congrats. Obviously, great series, great postseason overall. I have a question for you, because I know in the green room we're watching this game. When Cash gets Snell out of the game, what's your reaction in that dugout, and is there a lift?
Yeah, I was shocked. We were kind of joking around. We were like, all right, way to get him out of there in the 6th like we planned. But not like that. But, yeah, and then we just kind of we rallied from there. And Snell had his stuff today. He was gross. So, yeah, I would say that it uplifted us.
Corey, congratulations, Big Papi right here, man. I never used that term in baseball about a pitcher gross. I never heard that before. That's funny. That's funny.
Hey, I tell you, he was gross today.
I know, I was watching, trust me. Hey, listen, years before going home without taking that trophy, I can imagine how that feels. I want to know how you feel right now that you know that you end up winning the World Series.
That feeling going home without the trophy is the worst feeling in the world. It stings. It's there, always in the back of your head. And, man, it feels so good. Kershaw's right here, man. I'm so happy for Kershaw. Literally couldn't have him do a better person, better teammate. And just watching him celebrate made me get a little teary-eyed. And this is such an unbelievable feeling.
Cody, Frank Thomas here. Last year, big year, MVP. This year, didn't go so well, but you were there in the clutch for the Dodgers, and you're taking home this trophy. Do you think you've learned a lot this year, even though you struggled a little bit? I mean, because you've been so lights out, dude. You've been lights out your whole career.
Yeah, I've learned a lot, man. It's such a different year, and it's not always smooth, man. It's never going to be smooth. There's not one guy on this team that had a smooth career, There's always going to be bumps in the road, and for me to end on a high note with this trophy, whatever happened, it does not even matter to me. I have grown as a person, as a player, and I feel so happy right now.
Congrats, so happy for you.
Hey, Corey, Big Papi again right here. How you going to party, man? You going to pop some bottle? I can show you how to do it. I have a little bit of experience.
I know you got experience. We're going to pop champagne. I don't even know if we're allowed to, but I'm for sure popping champagne.
You deserve it.
We ain't leaving here without champagne. That's a fact.
That's what's up. Thank you.
Some way, somehow.
Mato. Thank you, man. Enjoy
it, Cody. Appreciate you hopping on. Congrats on being the World Series champs. Cody Bellinger.
Thank you, guys.
Boy, oh boy, what a feeling for him. And there you go. The Dodgers win the World Series. We've got a lot more to do, by the way, guys. We've got a long postgame coming up on FS1. So we want you to flip the channel to stay with us. A lot more interviews, reaction from Arlington. We'll hear from Kevin Cash, the Rays manager, too. The MVP, Seager, Mookie Betts will join us. Those of you here on Fox who want late local news, stay right here. If not, turn to FS1 right now. Postgame continues.
Flip it!
You've been watching Fox Sports, seen by most as being very, very cool.